Hey there, you made it. I'm so happy you're here with me. Picture this, you're all snuggled up, maybe in your favorite blanket, soft and warm, with one leg sticking out because, well, you like to live a little wild, don't you? That's perfect. You're in the right place, all cozy and ready to relax. I can almost see you there, tucked in, maybe with a pillow that's just the right kind of squishy. Welcome to this quiet little moment we're going to share. Before we start, I want to know something about you. Where are you listening from right now? Are you in your bedroom, maybe with glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling? Or are you in a car watching the streetlights zoom by? And what time is it where you are? Is it late at night with the moon peeking through your window, or maybe early evening with the sky still a little pink? I love hearing your answers. They make me smile when I'm up way too late, like a sleepy raccoon with a cup of tea, reading all the sweet messages you send. So tell me, where are you and what's the clock saying? Tonight we're going to talk about something really special. It's called Why Medieval Traders Slept with Coins for the Best Sleep in History. Doesn't that sound interesting? We're going to travel back in time, way back to when there were no phones, no TVs, no bright lights flashing everywhere. Just imagine a world where the only sounds at night were the wind, maybe a creaky wooden cart, or the soft bleat of a goat in the distance. It was a time when people lived simply, worked hard, and had this funny little habit of sleeping with coins under their pillows. Why did they do that? Well, we're going to find out step by step in the coziest way possible. Let's settle in now. Take a deep breath, let it out slow, and feel your shoulders relax. The world can wait, all the noise, all the busyness, it's fading away. It's just you, me, and this quiet story about a time long ago. Imagine you're sitting by a warm fire, the kind that crackles softly, with a big mug of something warm in your hands. Maybe it's hot cocoa or warm milk with a tiny bit of honey. Can you feel it? The warmth, the quiet, the way the world feels soft and still. That's where we're going, a place where everything slows down and all you have to do is listen and drift. You know, back in medieval times, life was so different. There were no cars zooming down the road, no screens glowing in the dark. People lived in little houses made of wood or stone with roofs made of straw. They didn't have clocks ticking or alarms buzzing. They woke up when the sun peeked over the hills, and they went to bed when the stars came out. And these traders, the people we're talking about tonight, they were special. They traveled from town to town, carrying things like wool or salt or maybe shiny apples in wooden carts. They worked hard all day, walking miles and miles, talking to people, trading their goods for coins. And those coins, they were like little treasures, small and round, made of silver or copper, jingling in their pockets. Why did they sleep with those coins under their pillows? That's the big question, isn't it? It sounds a little strange, doesn't it? Like, why not just put the coins in a box or a bag? But for these traders, those coins were more than just money. They were a kind of comfort, like a favorite stuffed animal or a special blanket you hug when you're sleepy. The coins made them feel safe, like a promise that tomorrow would be okay. And when they lay down at night, tired from their long day, they'd slip a coin under their pillow, feel its cool, smooth surface, and close their eyes. It helped them sleep so well, maybe better than we do now. Isn't that wild to think about? Let's picture it together. Imagine you're one of those traders for a moment. You've been walking all day, your feet a little sore, your hands dusty from carrying sacks of grain. The sun is setting, painting the sky orange and pink, and you're finally home. Your house is small, with a fire glowing in the corner, and your family is there, maybe your mom or dad or your little brother or sister, all cozy together. You sit down, eat some warm soup. Maybe it's got carrots and peas in it, all soft and yummy. Your eyes are getting heavy and you can't stop yawning. You pat your pocket, feel the coin inside, and smile. It's time for bed. You crawl into your bed, which is like our beds today. It's made of straw, stuffed into a big sack, and it rustles when you move. It's not super soft, but it's okay. You pull a wool blanket over you and it's scratchy but warm. You slip your coin under your pillow and it feels cool against your fingers. Maybe you whisper a little wish like, tomorrow will be a good day. The room is dark except for the tiny glow of the fire. You hear the wind outside, soft and gentle, and maybe a cow mooing far away. Your family is close, they're breathing slow and steady like a lullaby. And that coin, it's right there under your pillow like a secret only you know. You close your eyes and the world gets quieter and quieter. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. A time when life was slow, when people worked hard but rested easy, when a little coin could make you feel safe and ready for sleep. I want you to feel that coziness, that calm. Wherever you are right now, whether you're in a big city with lights flashing outside or a quiet town where the crickets sing, let's make this moment soft and peaceful. Take another deep breath. Can you feel your chest rise and fall? Can you feel your blanket or maybe your favorite pillow hugging you close? That's it, you're ready. I love thinking about you all cozy wherever you are. Maybe you're in New York and it's super late with taxis honking outside. Or maybe you're in a small town and it's so quiet you can hear the leaves rustling. Maybe you're listening with your dog curled up next to you, or maybe you've got a cat purring on your lap. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, I'm so glad you're here. I imagine you all tucked in, your eyes getting a little heavy, maybe even yawning as you listen. That's perfect. That's exactly where you're supposed to be. Let's talk a bit more about those medieval traders. They were people just like us, you know. They got tired, they laughed, they worried about things, but their world was so much quieter than ours. There were no phones dinging with messages, no computers to check, no homework piling up. They had their work carrying heavy sacks, walking long roads, trading for coins, and then they had their rest. And those coins they slept with, they weren't just for buying things. They were like a little piece of hope, something to hold on to. When they put that coin under their pillow, it was like saying, I did my best today, and tomorrow I'll try again. Doesn't that sound nice? To end the day feeling like you did enough and now it's time to rest. I want you to imagine you're in that world for a little while. Close your eyes if you want, or just stare at the ceiling and let your mind wander. Picture a little village with houses made of wood and straw. The air smells like fresh bread baking or maybe wood smoke from a fire. The sky is turning dark and the stars are starting to twinkle one by one. You're a trader coming home after a long day. Your cart is empty now. You sold all your apples or cloth at the market. Your pocket jingles with a few coins and you're so tired, but it's a good tired. You know that feeling when you've played outside all day or run around with your friends and your body just wants to flop down and rest. You walk into your house and it's warm inside. The fire is glowing, making little shadows dance on the walls. Your mom or dad is there stirring a pot of soup. Maybe your little sister is playing with a wooden toy or your dog is wagging its tail happy to see you. You sit down, kick off your dusty shoes, and eat your dinner. It's simple, maybe just bread and cheese or a bowl of warm porridge. It fills your tummy, makes you feel heavy and sleepy. You yawn and your family laughs because they're yawning too. It's that kind of night where everyone's ready to rest. You head to your bed, which is just a big sack of straw with a blanket on top. It's not fancy, but it's yours. You reach into your pocket and pull out a coin. It's small, round, and shiny in the firelight. You hold it for a moment, feeling how smooth it is, how cool it feels against your skin. Then you slip it under your pillow, right where your head will rest. Why do you do that? Because it feels good. Because it's like a little piece of the day you get to keep. Because it makes you feel safe, like everything going to be okay. You pull the blanket up to your chin and the straw crunches a little as you settle in. The fire pops softly, and outside the wind sings a quiet song. That's the world we're going to explore tonight. A world where life was hard but rest was easy. Where a coin under your pillow could make you sleep like a baby dreaming of markets and starry skis. I want you to feel that world, to let it wrap around you like a big warm hug. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, you're part of this story now. You're not just listening, you're there in that little village with the fire glowing and the coin under your pillow. Can you feel it? Can you hear the quiet? Let's take another moment to settle in. If you're lying in bed, wiggle your toes under the blanket. If you're sitting somewhere cozy, maybe hug your pillow a little tighter. Let's make this moment as soft as can be. I'm so happy you're here sharing this with me. I imagine you all over the world, maybe in California where it's still sunny, or in London where it's rainy and gray. Maybe you're in a place where it's snowing and you're wrapped in a blanket like a burrito. Wherever you are, whatever the world looks like outside your window, you're safe here. This story is for you. Let's talk a little more about those coins. They weren't like the coins we have today, you know. They were heavier, made of real silver or copper, and they had pictures on them, maybe a king's face or a cross or a little castle. Traders loved their coins because they worked so hard to get them. They'd walk for hours, carrying heavy loads, talking to people at the market, trying to get a good deal. And when they got a coin, it was like a tiny victory. They'd hold it in their hand, feel its weight, and smile. At night, when they put that coin under their pillow, it was like keeping that victory close. It wasn't just about money, it was about feeling proud, feeling safe, feeling ready for tomorrow. I wonder what you keep close when you go to bed. Maybe you have a favorite stuffed animal or a special blanket you've had forever. Maybe you like to keep a book by your bed or a little toy you love. For those medieval traders, that coin was their special thing. It was small, but it meant so much. It was like a reminder that they did something good that day, that they worked hard and earned something real. And when they lay down with that coin under their pillow, they could let go of all their worries. They didn't need to check their phone or finish one more thing. They just closed their eyes and let the night take them. Let's imagine you're in that village again. You're walking home and the air is cool now with a little breeze that makes the trees whisper. Your shoes are dusty and your legs are tired, but you're happy. You sold all your goods at the market today and your pocket is heavy with coins. You can hear them jingle as you walk, a soft little song that makes you smile. The sky is dark now, with stars twinkling like tiny candles in the sky. You get home and your family is waiting. They're happy to see you and you're happy to see them. You sit by the fire, eat your warm soup, and feel your whole body relax. You head to bed and it's just like before, a simple bed with straw that crunches and a blanket that's warm. You pull out your coin, hold it in your hand, and look at it in the firelight. It's so shiny, so pretty. You slip it under your pillow and it feels right, like it belongs there. You lie down, pull the blanket up, and listen to the sounds of the night. The fire is soft now, just a little glow. Your family is close, they're breathing slow and calm. Outside, the wind is gentle and maybe an owl hoots far away. You feel the coin under your pillow and it's like a little hug from the day. You close your eyes and everything is quiet. That's what tonight's story is all about. It's about a time when life was simple, when people worked hard but knew how to rest. It's about those coins, those little pieces of metal that meant so much. It's about feeling safe, feeling cozy, feeling ready to sleep. I want you to feel that way too. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, let this story be your coin under the pillow. Let it be the thing that makes you feel safe, that helps you let go of the day. You don't need to do anything else right now. You don't need to worry or plan. You just need to listen, to breathe, to drift. I'm so glad you're here with me. I love thinking about all of you all over the world listening to this story. Maybe you're in a big house or a small apartment, or maybe you're camping under the stars. Maybe it's late at night and you're trying to fall asleep, or maybe it's the afternoon and you're just taking a break. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, you're part of this moment. You're part of this quiet, cozy story about a time long ago, when traders slept with coins and dreamed of simple things. Let's take one more deep breath together. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Feel your shoulders relax, feel your body sink into your bed or your chair. You're here, you're safe, you're ready. Tonight we're going to drift back to that medieval world, to those traders and their coins, to a time when sleep was easy and the night was kind. So settle in, let the world fade, and let's begin. Imagine a world so different from ours. A world with no bright lights flashing, no cars zooming by, no phones buzzing in your pocket. There were no electric lights to keep you awake, no hum of machines making noise all night. Instead, there was just the soft, warm glow of a candle flickering on a wooden table, or maybe the crackle of a fire in a stone hearth, sending little sparks dancing up into the air. That's what life was like back in medieval times, a long, long time ago, when the world was quieter, slower, and simpler. In those days, people lived in small villages, with houses made of wood or stone. The roofs were covered with straw, like a big pile of hay stacked on top. The streets weren't paved like they are now. They were just dirt paths, sometimes muddy when it rained, sometimes dusty when it was sunny. Traders, the people we're talking about tonight, walked those paths every day. They pushed wooden carts that creaked and groaned under heavy sacks of grain, or wool, or maybe barrels of apples. Their carts made a soft, squeaky sound as they rolled along, like a song that said, "We're going to the market." Life back then was slow. Not slow like waiting for a game to load on your tablet, but slow in a good way, like when you're lying in bed and don't want to get up yet. There were no clocks ticking on the wall, no alarms beeping to tell you to hurry. People didn't check the time on their phones because, well, phones didn't exist. Instead, they looked at the sky. When the sun rose, it was time to wake up. When the sun climbed high, it was time to eat lunch. And when the sun sank low, painting the sky orange and pink, it was time to head home and rest. The sun was like a big, friendly clock in the sky, guiding everyone through their day. These traders, they were special people. They didn't just stay in one place. They traveled from one village to another, sometimes walking for hours, their boots getting dusty or muddy. They carried things to sell, like sacks of wheat to make bread or soft wool to make warm blankets. Sometimes they had shiny apples or jars of honey, or even bits of cloth in bright colors like red or blue. They'd set up their stalls at the market, where people came to buy and trade. The market was a busy place, full of voices, people talking, laughing, maybe arguing a little about the price of a sack of barley. But it wasn't loud like a city today. It was a soft kind of busy, like a hum that made you feel alive. Now these traders always carried coins. Not coins like the ones in your piggy bank, but coins made of silver or copper, heavy and round, with pictures stamped on them. Maybe a king's face or a cross or a little castle. Those coins were special. They jingled in little leather pouches tied to the traders' belts, making a happy sound as they walked. Sometimes the traders didn't put their coins in a pouch or a box. Instead, they did something funny. They tucked a coin under their pillow when they went to bed. Why would they do that? It sounds strange, doesn't it? Why not just keep the coins somewhere safe, like in a drawer? Well, we're going to find out why, but not just yet. For now, let's just think about that coin, cool and smooth, sitting under a pillow, waiting for the trader to fall asleep. Picture a small market town as the sun goes down. The air smells like wood smoke curling up from chimneys into the dusky sky. The houses are small, with windows covered by wooden shutters, not glass. The streets are quiet now because the market is done for the day. The traders are tired, their legs heavy from walking, their hands rough from carrying sacks and barrels. They're ready to go home, to sit by the fire, to eat a bowl of warm soup or porridge. And they're dreaming of rest, of lying down in a bed that's not fancy but good enough, with a straw mattress that rustles when they move. That's what life was like back then. No bright screens to stare at, no music blasting through earbuds. Just the soft sounds of the world, wind in the trees, a cow mooing far away, the crackle of a fire. The traders worked hard, but their lives were simple. They didn't worry about emails or homework or notifications. They worried about real things, like whether they had enough grain to trade or whether their donkey would behave on the road. And those coins they carried, they were more than just money. They were like a little piece of the day, a reminder that they worked hard and earned something good. When they slipped a coin under their pillow at night, it was like holding onto that good feeling, letting it help them sleep. Let's imagine you're in that town for a moment. Close your eyes or just let your mind wander. You're walking down a dirt path and it's soft under your feet. The air smells like fresh hay and smoke from someone's fire. The sky is turning dark with little stars starting to twinkle like tiny lights in a big black blanket. You're a trader and you've had a long day. Your cart is empty now, you sold all your wool at the market and your pocket is heavy with coins. They jingle as you walk and it makes you smile. You're tired, but it's a good tired, like after you've played outside all day and your legs feel wobbly. You see your house up ahead. It's small, made of wood, with a straw roof that looks cozy, even if it's a little messy. Smoke is coming out of the chimney, curling up into the sky like a soft gray ribbon. You push open the door and it creaks a little. Inside, it's warm with a fire glowing in the corner. Your family is there, maybe your mom stirring a pot of soup or your little brother playing with a stick he found outside. The air smells like bread and wood smoke, and it makes your tummy rumble. You sit down, kick off your dusty boots, and feel your whole body relax. You pat your pocket where your coins are, and you think about that one special coin you'll put under your pillow tonight. That's what we're talking about tonight. A world where life was slow and simple, where traders worked hard and rested easy. They didn't have all the things we have now, like TVs or computers or cars. But they had their coins, their fires, their families, and those things were enough. They didn't need a lot to feel happy, to feel safe, to feel ready for sleep. That coin under the pillow was like a little secret, a little piece of the day they could hold on to as they closed their eyes. Let's think about that world a bit more. Imagine waking up in the morning not to an alarm, but to the sound of a rooster crowing outside. The sun is just peeking over the hills, sending soft light through the cracks in your wooden shutters. You stretch, yawn, and feel the straw under you crunch a little. You reach under your pillow, and there's your coin, cool and smooth, just where you left it. It makes you smile because it's a reminder of yesterday's market, of the wool you sold, of the people you talked to. You get up, put on your boots, and start your day, knowing you'll do it all again. The traders' lives were full of little moments like that. They didn't rush around like we do now. They walked slowly, letting their donkeys pull their carts. They talked to people at the market, not through texts or emails, but face to face with big smiles and loud laughs. They ate simple food, bread, cheese, maybe some apples, or a bowl of porridge with bits of carrot in it. They drank water from a well, or maybe ale that tasted a little bitter but made them feel warm. Everything they did was connected to the world around them, the dirt under their feet, the sun in the sky, the coins in their pockets. Those coins were so important. They weren't just for buying things. They were a kind of treasure, something the traders worked hard to get. When they traded a sack of grain for a handful of coins, it felt like a win, like scoring a goal in a game. And when they put one of those coins under their pillow at night, it was like keeping that win close. It wasn't about being rich, it was about feeling safe, feeling like they had enough. The coin was like a little hug from the day, saying, "You did good, now rest." Let's picture that town again. It's evening now and the market is quiet. The stalls are empty, the traders packing up their carts. The air is cool and the sky is turning purple with stars starting to shine. You're walking home, your cart creaking behind you. Your donkey is tired too, his head low, his hooves making soft thumps in the dirt. You pat his neck, tell him he's a good boy, and keep walking. Your pocket jingles with coins and you feel proud. You sold a lot today, maybe some wool to a weaver or some apples to a lady with a big smile. You're ready to go home, to see your family, to sit by the fire. Your house is small, but it's home. The door is heavy, made of thick wood, and it creaks when you push it open. Inside, the fire is burning, making the room feel warm and safe. Your mom or dad is there, maybe stirring a pot of soup or mending a shirt. Your little sister is sitting on the floor, playing with a wooden spoon. The dog is curled up by the fire, his tail wagging when he sees you. You take off your cloak, hang it on a peg, and sit down. The soup smells so good, like onions and herbs, and you can't wait to eat. You reach into your pocket and pull out your coins. They're shiny in the firelight, like little stars you can hold. You pick one, the smoothest one, and hold it in your hand. It's cool, but it warms up as you hold it. You smile because this coin is special. It's the one you'll put under your pillow tonight. You don't know why it feels so good to do that, but it does. Maybe it's because it's yours, because you earned it, because it makes you feel like tomorrow will be okay. You eat your soup, dip some bread in it, and feel your eyes getting heavy. The fire crackles, the dog snores, and the world feels soft and quiet. That's what life was like for those traders. They worked hard, but they knew how to rest. They didn't have a lot of stuff, but they had enough. Their houses weren't big, their beds weren't soft, but they were happy. They had their families, their fires, their coins, and those coins tucked under their pillows were like a little piece of magic. Not the kind of magic with wands or spells, but the kind that makes you feel safe, that helps you close your eyes and drift away. Let's think about that town one more time. It's night now and the village is asleep. The houses are dark except for the soft glow of fires inside. The streets are empty, the carts parked for the night. The air is cool with a little breeze that makes the trees whisper. Somewhere a goat bleats soft and far away. The stars are bright like a blanket of light over the world. And in every house there's a trader lying in bed with a coin under their pillow. They're tired, but they're content. They worked hard today, and now it's time to rest. That's the world we're stepping into tonight. A world where life was simple, where traders walked dirt paths and carried coins that meant more than money. We're going to meet one of those traders soon, someone with a kind heart and a sleepy smile. But for now, just let this world wrap around you. Feel the quiet, the warmth, the slowness of it all. Let the thought of that coin, cool and smooth under a pillow, make you feel cozy. We're going to drift deeper into this story, into a time when sleep was easy and the night was kind. Let's meet a trader named Aldrich and see what his life was like. Let's meet someone special. His name is Aldrich, and he's a trader in a little medieval village. Aldrich isn't too young, like a kid who runs around playing, and he isn't too old, like a grandpa with a long white beard. He's just right, somewhere in the middle with a beard that's short and scruffy. Sometimes, when he's not paying attention, little bits of straw get stuck in his beard, maybe from leaning against a hay bale or brushing past his donkey's cart. It makes him look a bit funny, like he's carrying a tiny piece of the field with him, but Aldrich doesn't mind. He just brushes the straw away and smiles. Aldrich is kind. You can tell by his eyes. They're warm and crinkly, like they're always smiling, even when he's so tired his whole body feels heavy. His eyes are the kind that make you feel safe, like when your mom or dad tucks you in at night. Even when Aldrich's been working all day, hauling heavy barrels or sacks of grain, those eyes stay kind. They twinkle in the firelight, like he's got a little secret he's happy to share. And you know what? He does have a secret, a little habit that makes him special. Every night before he goes to bed, Aldrich takes a single coin, a shiny piece of silver, and tucks it into his pocket. Not a big pocket full of coins, just one close to his heart. That coin isn't just money to Aldrich, it's more than that. It's like a little piece of his day, a tiny treasure that says, "You worked hard today and tomorrow will be okay." He loves the way it feels in his hand, cool and smooth, like a pebble from a river. When he holds it, he can feel its weight, not too heavy, but just enough to remind him it's there. He'll sit by the fire at night, after a long day at the market, and pull that coin out of his pocket. He'll turn it over in his fingers, watching it shine in the glow of the flames. It makes him feel safe, like everything going to be all right. Then he'll yawn, a big, slow yawn, stretch his arms, and shuffle toward his bed, the coin still in his hand, ready for sleep. Aldrich's hands are rough. They're not soft like a baby's hands because he works hard every day. He lifts heavy barrels of apples or sacks of wool, and he pulls his cart along dusty paths. His hands are calloused, which means they're tough and a little bumpy from all that work. Sometimes they're sore, especially after a long day of carrying things or tying ropes to keep his cart steady. But Aldrich doesn't complain. He likes his work. He likes going to the market, talking to people, trading his goods for coins. And he loves that one special coin he picks out each night. It's like his hands know it, like they're happy to hold it, even when they're tired. Picture Aldrich in his little house. It's not a big house like some we have today, with lots of rooms and fancy lights. It's small, made of wood, with a straw roof that keeps out the rain. Inside, there's a fire burning in a stone hearth, making the room warm and cozy. The air smells like wood smoke and maybe a pot of soup cooking, with carrots and onions bubbling away. Aldrich comes home after a long day, his boots dusty, his shoulders a little achy. He's bone tired, which means he's so tired he feels it in his bones, like his whole body is saying, "Time to rest." But he's happy, too, because he's home and his family is there waiting for him. Aldrich has a wife named Edda, who's kind like him with a laugh that sounds like bells. They have 2 kids, little Wulfric, who's always running around, and Agnes, who's quieter and likes to play with a wooden doll. There's also a dog named Bruna, who's old and shaggy but loves to flop by the fire. When Aldrich walks in, Bruna's tail wags and the kids smile, and Edda hands him a bowl of warm soup. He sits down, takes off his cloak, and feels the day start to fade away. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out his coin, and holds it for a moment. It's his little habit, his special thing. He doesn't tell anyone why he does it, but everyone knows it's just Aldrich's way. Let's imagine you're there with Aldrich for a moment. You're sitting by the fire and it's warm on your face. The room is small, but it feels safe, like a hug. You can hear the fire crackling, little pops and snaps as the wood burns. Outside, the wind is blowing softly, making the straw roof rustle. Aldrich is sitting across from you, his beard with a bit of straw in it, his eyes crinkly and kind. He's holding his coin, turning it over in his fingers. He looks tired, but not sad tired. It's the kind of tired you feel after a good day, like when you've played outside for hours and your legs are wobbly, but you're happy. Aldrich yawns, and it's a big yawn, the kind that makes you want to yawn too. He stretches his arms, and you can hear his back pop a little because he's been working all day. He's been at the market, selling wool or maybe some barley, talking to people, laughing with them. His cart was full this morning, piled high with sacks, but now it's empty, parked outside for the night. His pocket has a few coins from the day's trade, but he picks just one to keep close. He slips it back into his pocket, right near his heart, and stands up. His boots shuffle on the dirt floor as he heads toward his bed. That coin, it's not just a coin to Aldrich. It's like a promise. It says tomorrow you'll go to the market again, you'll trade, you'll laugh, you'll come home. It's a little piece of safety, like a favorite stuffed animal you hug when you sleep. Aldrich doesn't have a lot of coins, not like a king or a rich person. He's just a trader working day by day, but that one coin is enough. It's his treasure, his little secret that helps him sleep. When he lies down, he'll take it out of his pocket and slip it under his pillow. The pillow isn't fluffy like the ones we have now. It's stuffed with straw like his mattress, and it rustles when he moves. But that coin, cool and smooth, feels just right under there. Let's picture Aldrich's bed. It's not big or fancy. It's a wooden frame like a box with a mattress made of straw. The straw is packed tight into a big sack, and it crunches when Aldrich lies down. Over the mattress, there's a wool blanket, heavy and warm but a little scratchy. Aldrich doesn't mind. He's used to it. He pulls the blanket up to his chin, and it feels like a hug from the day. He reaches into his pocket, takes out his coin, and slips it under the pillow. The coin is cold at first, but it warms up as he rests his head. He smiles just a little because it feels good. It's like the coin is whispering, "You did enough today, now sleep." Aldrich's house is quiet now. The fire is low, just a soft glow in the corner. Etta is nearby, maybe mending a shirt or humming a soft song. The kids are asleep on their own little bed, a smaller mattress in the corner. Bruna the dog is curled up by the fire, snoring softly. Outside, the village is still. You can hear the wind, gentle and cool, and maybe a goat bleating far away. The stars are out, twinkling in the dark sky, like little coins scattered across a big black blanket. Aldrich lies in his bed, his eyes getting heavy. He feels the coin under his pillow, and it's like a friend, keeping him company as he drifts off. Aldrich's life isn't easy, but it's good. He wakes up when the sun rises, eats simple food like bread or porridge, and heads to the market with his cart. He walks miles sometimes, his donkey plodding along beside him. At the market, he talks to people, trades his goods, and earns his coins. Some days are better than others. Sometimes he sells everything and his pocket is heavy with coins. Other days, he comes home with just a few. But every night, he picks one coin, the one that feels special, and keeps it close. It's his way of ending the day, of saying, "I did my best." Let's think about Aldrich's day for a moment. Imagine you're walking with him. It's early morning and the air is cool. The sun is just coming up, making the grass sparkle with dew. Aldrich's cart is loaded with sacks of wool, soft and fluffy, ready to sell. His donkey named Clover is stubborn sometimes, but Aldrich talks to her softly like she's a friend. "Come on, Clover," he says, "let's go to the market." The cart creaks as it rolls down the dirt path, and Aldrich's boots make a soft thud with each step. He's tired already because he was up late last night, but his eyes are still crinkly, still kind. At the market, it's busy but not loud. People are talking, laughing, trading things like apples, bread, or cloth. Aldrich sets up his stall, spreading out his wool so everyone can see it. A lady with a big basket stops by, feels the wool, and smiles. "This is good," she says, and she gives Aldrich a handful of coins. He thanks her, his voice warm, and puts the coins in his pouch. The pouch jingles and it makes him happy. He works all day, talking to people, lifting sacks, tying ropes. By the time the sun starts to set, he's bone tired again, but he's content. He's got his coins, and one of them will go under his pillow tonight. Back at home, Aldrich sits by the fire eating his soup. Etta is there telling him about her day, maybe about how Wulfric tried to chase the chickens again. Aldrich laughs, and it's a soft, rumbly laugh that makes the room feel warmer. He finishes his soup, yawns, and stretches. His hands, rough and calloused, rest on his knees for a moment. He reaches into his pouch, pulls out his coin, and holds it. It's shiny, even in the dim light. He turns it over, feels its smooth edges, and smiles. It's time for bed. Aldrich shuffles to his bed, his boots scuffing the dirt floor. He pulls off his cloak, hangs it on a peg, and sits on the edge of his mattress. The straw crunches under him, and the blanket feels heavy when he pulls it over his legs. He takes his coin, the one he's been holding, and slips it under his pillow. It's a little ritual, something he does every night. He doesn't think about it too much, it just feels right. The coin is cool against the straw, but it's a good kind of cool, like dipping your toes in a stream. Aldrich lies down, pulls the blanket up, and closes his eyes. The room is quiet, the fire is soft, and the coin is there like a tiny promise. That's who Aldrich is. A kind man with a scruffy beard and crinkly eyes who works hard and loves his family. He's not rich, not famous, just a trader doing his best. But he has his coin, his little habit that makes him feel safe. Every night he tucks it under his pillow, yawns, and lets the day go. He's ready for sleep, ready to dream, ready to rest. And tomorrow he'll do it all again. Wake up, go to the market, trade his goods, and pick another coin for the night. Let's stay with Aldrich a little longer. Imagine you're lying in your own bed, but you can see him in his. The room is dark now, except for the fire's soft glow. The straw mattress rustles as he shifts, getting comfortable. His breathing is slow, steady, like a lullaby. The coin is under his pillow, and it's like a little piece of the day he's keeping close. Outside, the village is quiet, with only the wind and the stars. Aldrich's eyes are closed, and he's drifting, ready to sleep. That's Aldrich's story, or at least the start of it. He's a man who loves his work, his family, and his coin. He's tired, but he's happy, and he's ready to rest. We'll see more of him soon, see how his day begins, how he starts each morning with a yawn and a smile. For now, let's leave him there in his cozy bed with his coin under his pillow, dreaming of markets and starry skies. Aldrich's day started slow, like a lazy river moving through a quiet valley. There was no loud alarm clock to make him jump out of bed, no buzzing phone to pull him awake. Instead, it was the rooster that woke him up, crowing loud and proud outside his little house. "Cock-a-doodle-doo," it called like a friend saying, "Hey, it's morning." But Aldrich didn't jump up right away. He wasn't in a hurry. He'd roll over on his straw mattress, the one that crunched and rustled under him, and blink his eyes a few times. The room was still dark, but soft light sneaked in through the cracks in the wooden shutters, like little fingers of sunshine reaching in to say hello. Aldrich would lie there for a moment, feeling the straw under him, all prickly but cozy in its own way. His blanket was heavy, made of wool, and it kept him warm through the night. He'd stretch his arms, maybe yawn a big, slow yawn, and listen to the sounds around him. The rooster was still crowing outside, and he could hear the soft cluck of chickens in the yard. Inside, his wife, Etta, was already up, moving quietly by the fire. She was stirring the embers, making them glow bright again, and the air smelled like damp wood and smoke, with a hint of something warm and yummy, like porridge cooking in a pot. Aldrich's hand would slip into his pocket where his special coin was waiting. It was still there, right where he put it last night, close to his heart. He'd pat it gently, feeling its cool, smooth surface through the cloth of his pocket. That coin wasn't just money, it was like a little promise, a tiny piece of yesterday that said, "Today's worth waking up for." Aldrich liked that feeling. It was his quiet ritual, his way of starting the day. He didn't say anything out loud, but in his head, it was like he was whispering, "Okay, world, I'm ready. Let's see what today brings." He'd sit up slowly, the straw mattress crunching under him. His bed wasn't soft like the beds we have now, with fluffy pillows and squishy mattresses. It was just a wooden frame with a big sack of straw, but it was enough for Aldrich. He'd swing his legs over the side, his feet touching the cold dirt floor. It made him shiver a little, but it woke him up too. He'd reach for his boots, a pair of old, worn leather ones that were soft from years of walking. He'd pull them on one at a time, each movement slow and careful, like he was savoring the morning. There was no rush, no need to hurry. A trader's life wasn't fancy or exciting like a night, but it had a rhythm like a heartbeat, steady and sure. Let's picture Aldrich's house for a moment. It's small, made of wood with a straw roof that keeps out the rain. The walls are thick, but you can still hear the wind outside, soft and gentle. Inside, there's a stone hearth where the fire burns, and Etta is there, stirring a pot of porridge. The porridge is simple, just oats and water, maybe with a bit of honey or some dried apples if they're lucky. The air smells warm and good, like breakfast in home. The fire crackles, sending little sparks up into the air, and the room feels cozy, even if it's not big or fancy. Aldrich stands up, stretching again, his back popping a little from sleeping on the straw. He's not tall, but he's strong, with broad shoulders from years of carrying heavy sacks. His beard is scruffy, and maybe there's a tiny bit of straw stuck in it from his pillow. He brushes it away, smiling to himself, because it happens all the time. He walks over to the fire, his boots making soft thumps on the dirt floor. Etta looks up and smiles, her eyes kind like his. "Morning," she says softly, and Aldrich nods, his crinkly eyes twinkling back. He feels the coin in his pocket again, just to be sure it's there, and it makes him feel ready for the day. Let's imagine you're there with Aldrich, sitting at the little wooden table in his house. The table is rough, made from planks of wood, but it's sturdy. There's a bowl of porridge in front of you, steaming hot, and a wooden spoon to eat it with. The porridge is warm and thick, and it fills your tummy with a cozy feeling. Aldrich sits across from you, eating his own bowl, taking slow bites. He's not in a hurry. He never is in the morning. He likes to let the day start gently, like a flower opening in the sun. Outside, you can hear the village waking up, the rooster still crowing, a dog barking somewhere, the soft thud of someone chopping wood. Aldrich finishes his porridge and sets his bowl down. He pats his pocket again, feeling the coin, and stands up. He walks to the door, pushes it open, and looks outside. The air is cool and fresh, with a smell of grass and dew. The sun is higher now, painting the sky with soft pinks and yellows. The village is small, with houses just like Aldrich, all huddled together along the dirt path. There's a little yard outside his house, with a few chickens pecking at the ground and a donkey, Clover, tied to a post. Clover looks sleepy, her head low, but she flicks her ears when Aldrich walks over. "Morning, girl," he says, patting her neck. She snorts like she's saying hello back. Aldrich's cart is parked in the yard, a simple wooden thing with big wheels that creak when it moves. It's empty now, but soon he'll load it with sacks of wool or grain to take to the market. He checks the cart, making sure the wheels are okay, running his hands over the wood. His hands are rough, calloused from years of work, but they're gentle too. He likes his cart, his donkey, his work. It's not glamorous like being a knight with a shiny sword, but it's his life and he's happy with it. He pats his coin again, feeling its weight, and it's like the coin is saying, "You've got this." Let's think about that coin for a moment. It's not big, just a small round piece of silver with a picture stamped on it, maybe a king's face or a little cross. It's smooth from being handled so much, and it feels cool in Aldrich's pocket. He doesn't have a lot of coins, not like a rich person, but this one is special. It's the one he picked last night, the one he slept with under his pillow. Now it's in his pocket, close to his heart, and it makes him feel good. It's like a little piece of yesterday, a reminder of the market, of the people he talked to, of the wool he sold. It's a promise that today will be good, too. Aldrich walks back inside, where Etta is cleaning up the breakfast dishes. The kids, Wulfric and Agnes, are awake now, rubbing their eyes and yawning. Wulfric is a little boy with messy hair, always full of energy, and Agnes is quieter, holding her wooden doll. They come to the table, and Etta gives them each a small bowl of porridge. Aldrich smiles at them, his crinkly eyes twinkling. "Eat up," he says, his voice soft but warm. He loves his family, and mornings like this make him happy. He feels the coin in his pocket again, and it's like it's part of the family, too, a little piece of their life together. The morning moves slowly, and that's how Aldrich likes it. He doesn't rush to get to the market. He takes his time, helping Etta with a few small chores. Maybe he carries a bucket of water from the well, or he chops some wood for the fire. Each step is careful, deliberate, like he's dancing to a slow song only he can hear. The village is waking up around him, neighbors calling to each other, a cart creaking down the path, a cow mooing in the distance. It's a quiet kind of busy, not like the noise of a city today with cars and phones and all sorts of loud things. This is a soft busy, a gentle hum that makes you feel calm. Let's picture Aldrich getting ready for the day. He goes to the yard where his cart is waiting. He starts loading it with sacks of wool, big fluffy sacks that smell like sheep. He lifts them one by one, his strong arms making it look easy even though they're heavy. He ties them down with rope, making sure they won't fall off when Clover pulls the cart. Clover is standing nearby, chewing on some grass, looking like she's not quite ready to move. Aldrich laughs softly. "Come on, Clover," he says, giving her a gentle pat. He checks his pocket again, feeling the coin, and it's like a little boost of energy, a reminder that today's going to be okay. Sun is higher now, and the village is full of light. The dirt path is dry, and little clouds of dust puff up under Aldrich's boots as he walks. He's ready to head to the market, but he doesn't hurry. He stops to talk to a neighbor, a man named Tom who's fixing a fence. "Good morning, Tom," Aldrich says, and Tom waves back, his hands dirty from work. Aldrich likes his neighbors, likes the way everyone knows each other in the village. It's not like a big city where people rush by without saying hello. Here, everyone smiles, everyone talks, everyone shares a little bit of their day. Aldrich's life has a rhythm, like the beat of a drum, steady and slow. Wake up, eat porridge, pat the coin, load the cart, head to the market. It's the same most days, but that's what makes it good. It's like a song you know by heart, one that makes you feel safe. Aldrich doesn't need fancy things or exciting adventures. He has his family, his cart, his coin. And that coin tucked in his pocket is like a tiny piece of that rhythm, a little note in the song of his day. It says, "Keep going, Aldrich. You're doing fine." Let's imagine you're walking with Aldrich now down the dirt path to the market. The cart creaks behind you and Clover's hooves make a soft clip-clop sound. The air is warm now with a breeze that smells like grass and flowers. Aldrich's walking beside you, his boots kicking up little puffs of dust. He's humming a soft tune, something simple like a lullaby. He pats his pocket, feeling the coin, and smiles. His eyes are crinkly, his beard a little messy, but he looks happy. He's not thinking about big things like being rich or famous. He's just thinking about the market, about the people he'll see, about the wool he'll sell. The path winds through the village, past houses like Aldrich, with straw roofs and smoke curling from chimneys. You see kids playing, chasing a ball made of rags. You hear a dog bark and somewhere a goat bleats. It's a happy place, this village, even if it's not fancy. Aldrich waves to everyone he passes, calling out "morning" in his warm, rumbly voice. He likes this part of the day, when the world is waking up, when everything feels new. He pats his coin again, and it's like the coin is waking up, too, ready for another day of trading. Aldrich's life isn't glamorous, but it's good. He doesn't have a big house or shiny clothes. He has a small house, a straw bed, a scruffy beard, but he has Etta, Wulfric, Agnes, and Clover. He has his cart, his wool, his coins. And he has that one special coin, the one he pats every morning, the one he'll slip under his pillow tonight. It's part of his rhythm, part of the heartbeat of his day. It's not about being rich, it's about feeling safe, feeling ready, feeling like today matters. Let's stay with Aldrich a little longer. Picture him walking down the path, the cart creaking, the sun climbing higher. He's almost at the market now, but he's not rushing. He stops to look at a field of flowers, bright yellow ones that sway in the breeze. He takes a deep breath, smelling the fresh air, and pats his coin again. It's like the coin is his friend, always there, always steady. He's ready for the market, ready to trade, ready to talk to people, but he's not in a hurry. His day has a rhythm, and he's following it, step by step, like a slow, happy dance. That's Aldrich's morning, slow and gentle, full of small moments that make him smile. He's awake now, ready to start his day with his coin in his pocket and his cart full of wool. We'll follow him to the market soon, see what he does, how he works, how he earns those coins. But for now, let's leave him here, walking down the path with the sun shining and the coin close to his heart. Aldrich's work was steady, like a slow song that never stopped playing. It wasn't fast or exciting, but it was good, like a warm blanket on a cold night. Every morning, after his porridge and a pat on his special coin, Aldrich would go to his yard and get his cart ready. His cart was old, made of wood, with big wheels that creaked when they rolled. It wasn't fancy, but it was strong, and it carried everything he needed to take to the market. Aldrich liked his cart. It was like a friend who was always there, ready to help him do his work. First, Aldrich would load the cart with sacks of wool. The wool was soft and fluffy, like a big pile of clouds, but it was heavy too. He'd lift one sack at a time, his strong arms working slowly, carefully. He'd set the sack on the cart, making sure it was balanced so it wouldn't fall off. Then he'd grab another sack and another until the cart was full. Each sack was a tiny task, a little job he did one step at a time. Lift, carry, set down. Lift, carry, set down. It was the same every day, but Aldrich didn't mind. He liked the rhythm of it, like a heartbeat, steady and sure. After loading the sacks, Aldrich would check the cart's wheels. He'd crouch down, his knees creaking a little, and look at each wheel to make sure it wasn't wobbly. Sometimes a wheel would be loose, and he'd tighten it with a little tool, turning it carefully. He'd run his hand over the wood, feeling for cracks or splinters. His hands were rough, with tough skin from years of work, but they were gentle, too, like he was petting a dog. He wanted his cart to be ready because the market was a long walk away, and he didn't want any trouble on the road. When the cart was ready, Aldrich would get his donkey, Clover. Clover was old and a little stubborn, with big brown eyes and a shaggy coat. She didn't always want to move, but Aldrich knew how to talk to her. "Come on, Clover," he'd say, his voice soft and kind. He'd pat her neck, and she'd snort like she was saying, "Okay, fine." Aldrich would tie a rope to her harness, then tie the other end to the cart. He'd give the rope a little tug, and Clover would start walking, her hooves making soft thumps on the dirt path. The cart creaked behind her, the sacks of wool bouncing a little as they went. Each step was a small task, one tiny job at a time. Tie the rope to Clover. Check the sacks again. Take the first step down the path. Aldrich didn't rush. He didn't need to. The market would be there and the day was long. He'd walk slowly, letting Clover set the pace, her hooves kicking up little puffs of dust. The path was rutted, full of bumps and dips from years of carts rolling over it. Aldrich knew every bump, every turn. He walked this path so many times, it was like a friend he could trust. As he walked, Aldrich would nod to his neighbors. There was Tom, fixing his fence again, his hammer tapping softly. "Morning, Aldrich," Tom would call, and Aldrich would wave back, his crinkly eyes smiling. There was Marta, carrying a basket of eggs to sell. "Good luck at the market," she'd say, and Aldrich would nod, his hand patting the coin in his pocket. The coin was always there in a little pouch tied to his belt. It jingled softly as he walked, a happy sound that made him feel grounded, like he was connected to the earth, to his work, to his life. Let's picture it for a moment. You're walking with Aldrich down the dirt path to the market. The sun is climbing higher, warming your face. The air smells like grass and dust, with a hint of flowers from a field nearby. Clover is plodding along, her hooves making a steady clip-clop sound. The cart creaks, the sacks of wool swaying gently. Aldrich is beside you, his boots thumping on the ground, his beard with a bit of straw stuck in it. He's humming a little tune, soft and simple, like a lullaby. He pats his pocket, feeling the coin, and smiles. It's just another day, but it's his day, and he's happy to be here. The path winds through the village, past houses with straw roofs and smoke curling from chimneys. You see kids playing, kicking a ball made of rags. A dog runs by, barking happily, chasing a butterfly. Somewhere a goat bleats, its voice soft in the distance. The village is alive, but it's a quiet kind of alive, not loud like a city with cars and horns. It's a gentle hum, like the sound of bees in a garden. Aldrich likes this time of day, when the world is waking up, when everyone's starting their own little tasks. When Aldrich gets to the market, it's already buzzing. Not buzzing like a phone with messages, but buzzing with voices, people talking, laughing, calling out to each other. The market is a big open space with stalls made of wood covered with cloth or straw to keep the sun off. There are people everywhere carrying baskets, pushing carts, holding bags of apples or bread. A dog barks somewhere, chasing a crumb that fell from a loaf. Aldrich finds his spot, a little corner he's used for years, and starts setting up. He unloads the sacks of wool, one by one, stacking them neatly on the ground. Each sack is another tiny task, another step in his day. Aldrich moves slowly, letting the day unfold like a flower opening its petals. He ties a cloth over his stall to make shade, then arranges the wool so it looks nice. He smiles at people walking by, his crinkly eyes twinkling. "Good wool today," he calls, his voice warm and friendly. A lady stops, feels the wool, and nods. "I'll take 2 sacks," she says, and hands him a few coins. Aldrich puts them in his pouch, where they jingle with the others. He pats the pouch, feeling his special coin, the one he'll sleep with tonight. It's like a little thank you from the day, a reminder that he's doing okay. By noon, Aldrich's shoulders start to ache. Lifting sacks, tying ropes, and standing all morning makes his body feel heavy. He sits on a stool by his stall, resting for a moment. The market is loud now, but it's a good loud, full of life. People are haggling, which means they're talking about prices, trying to get a good deal. 2 coins for that wool, someone says, and Aldrich shakes his head, smiling. 3 coins, it's the best wool you'll find, he says, and they laugh, settling on a price. A dog runs by, barking at nothing, and Aldrich chuckles. He likes the market, likes the voices, the smells of bread and apples, the feeling of being part of something. Let's imagine you're at the market with Aldrich. You're sitting on a sack of wool, soft under you, watching the people go by. There's a man selling bread, his loaves warm and crusty. A lady has a basket of eggs, white and brown, shining in the sun. Kids are running around, playing tag between the stalls. The air smells like dust and food and animals, all mixed together. Aldrich is next to you, talking to a customer, his hands moving as he shows off his wool. He's tired, you can tell, but his eyes are still kind, still crinkly. He pats his pouch, where the coins jingle, and you know he's thinking about that one special coin, the one he'll put under his pillow tonight. Aldrich's work is all about small tasks, one after another. Tie a rope, stack a sack, talk to a customer, take a coin. Each task is simple, but together they make his day. He doesn't think about big things like being rich or famous. He thinks about the wool, the cart, the coins. He thinks about getting home, sitting by the fire with Edda, eating soup with Wulfric and Agnes. And he thinks about his bed where he'll lie down, slip his coin under his pillow, and let the world slip away. That thought makes him smile, even when his shoulders ache and his feet are sore. The market goes on all day, but Aldrich takes it slow. He talks to people, laughs with them, shares stories. Someone tells him about a new baby goat in the village, and Aldrich grins, saying he'll have to come see it. Another person asks about his wool, and he explains how soft it is, how warm it'll make a blanket. Each conversation is a tiny task, a little moment in his day. He doesn't rush through them. He lets them happen like leaves falling from a tree, one by one, gentle and easy. As the sun climbs higher, the market gets busier. More people come, carrying baskets, pushing carts, calling to each other. Aldrich's stall is busy, too. People like his wool, and his pouch gets heavier with coins. Each coin is a little victory, a sign that he's done something good. He pats his pouch, feeling the special coin inside, the one that's different from the others. It's the one he picked this morning, the one he'll sleep with tonight. It's smooth and cool, and it feels like a friend, always there, always steady. Let's picture Aldrich at his stall, the sun warm on his face. He's sitting now, his legs stretched out, his boots dusty from the path. His shoulders ache, but he doesn't mind too much. He's used to it. He watches the market, the people moving like a slow dance. A lady buys some wool, and Aldrich helps her lift the sack into her basket. A boy runs by, chasing a dog, and Aldrich laughs, his rumbly laugh making you smile too. He pats his pouch again, the coins jingling softly, and you can tell he's thinking about home, about his bed, about the coin under his pillow. Aldrich's day is full of these little tasks, one after another like beads on a string. Load the cart, check the wheels, tie the rope, walk to the market, set up the stall, talk to people, take coins. Each task is small, but together they make his life. They're like the steps in a dance, simple but important. And through it all there's the coin, the one in his pocket, the one he'll sleep with. It's part of the rhythm, part of the day, part of the reason he feels so calm, so ready to rest when the day is done. By the time the sun is high, Aldrich is tired. His shoulders ache, his legs feel heavy, and his eyes are a little droopy. The market is still buzzing, but Aldrich's mind is starting to drift. He thinks about his house, about the fire Etta will have burning, about the soup she'll make for dinner. He thinks about his bed with its straw mattress and scratchy blanket. And he thinks about his coin, the one he'll slip under his pillow, cool and smooth, ready to help him sleep. That thought makes him yawn, a big, slow yawn that makes his whole body feel softer. Let's stay with Aldrich a little longer. Imagine you're still at the market, sitting on that sack of wool. The sun is warm, but there's a breeze now, cool and gentle. Aldrich is packing up his stall, tying the leftover sacks to his cart. He's moving slowly, his hands careful, his eyes crinkly. He's tired, but he's happy. He sold a lot of wool today, and his pouch is heavy with coins. He pats it, feeling the special coin, and smiles. He's ready to go home to rest, to let the day fade away. We'll follow him home soon, see how his tiredness grows, how he gets ready for sleep. But for now, let's leave him here at the market with his cart and his coins, moving one tiny task at a time. By late afternoon, Aldrich's legs felt heavy, like they were made of the same clay as the road he walked on. His whole body was tired, not just a little tired like when you yawn in class, but deep down tired, the kind that makes you feel like you're moving in slow motion. Trading was hard work, full of lifting heavy sacks, walking long paths, and pulling his stubborn donkey, Clover, when she didn't want to move. But Aldrich didn't mind the tiredness. It wasn't a bad thing like a punishment. It was like a soft whisper from his body saying, "You worked hard today, it's okay to rest now." That feeling, that heavy, cozy tiredness was like a friend guiding him toward his bed at home. Aldrich would sit by his cart at the market, his rough hands resting on his knees. His hands were tough, with thick skin from years of tying ropes and carrying barrels. They were a little sore now after a whole day of work. He'd take a deep breath, slow and long, and let it out with a sigh that made his shoulders relax. The market was still busy around him, with people talking and laughing, but Aldrich's world felt quieter. He'd pat the coin in his pocket, the special one he'd picked that morning, and it felt like a reward, a little thank you for all his hard work. That coin wasn't just money, it was like a shiny star he could hold, a promise that he'd done enough for today. Let's picture Aldrich sitting there by his cart in the late afternoon sun. The market is full of sounds, people calling out prices, a dog barking in the distance, the creak of another trader's cart rolling by. The air smells like dust and bread and maybe some apples from a nearby stall. Aldrich's cart is almost empty now because he sold most of his wool. The sacks that are left are tied down tight, and Clover, his donkey, is standing nearby, chewing on a bit of grass. Aldrich's legs are heavy, like they're stuck in thick mud. His shoulders ache from lifting and carrying, and his back feels stiff from standing all day. But it's a good kind of ache, the kind that says, "You did a lot today." Aldrich's work was physical, which means it used his whole body. Every morning he'd lift big sacks of wool or salt onto his cart, each one heavy enough to make his arms shake a little. He'd tie them down with rope, his hands pulling and twisting until the knots were tight. Then he'd walk miles to the market, leading Clover down the bumpy, rutted path. Sometimes Clover would stop, stubborn as ever, and Aldrich would have to pull her gently, coaxing her with a soft, "Come on, girl." All that walking, lifting, and pulling made his body tired, but it wasn't a bad tired. It was like his body was saying, "Good job, Aldrich, you worked hard." Now sitting by his cart, Aldrich catches his breath. He leans back, his hands on his knees, and looks around the market. The sun is lower now, painting the sky with soft oranges and pinks. The air is cooler, and a little breeze rustles the cloth over his stall. He can feel the coin in his pocket, cool and smooth through the cloth. He pats it like he's saying hello to an old friend. That coin is special, not because it's worth a lot, but because it's his. He picked it this morning and he'll sleep with it under his pillow tonight. It's like a little piece of the day he gets to keep, a reminder that he did his best. Let's imagine you're there with Aldrich, sitting on a sack of wool next to his cart. The wool is soft under you, even if it smells a little like sheep. You can see Aldrich's face, his beard scruffy with a bit of straw stuck in it, his eyes crinkly and kind. He's tired, you can tell. His shoulders are slumped and he's breathing slow like he's savoring each breath. The market is all around you, full of life. A lady walks by with a basket of eggs, calling out, "Fresh eggs, fresh eggs." A man is selling bread and the smell makes your tummy rumble. Somewhere, a dog barks and a kid laughs, running through the stalls. It's busy, but it's a soft kind of busy, not loud like a city today. Aldrich's hands are rough, with calluses from all the ropes he's tied and barrels he's lifted. He rubs them together, trying to ease the soreness. His fingers are strong, but they're gentle too, like when he pats clover or hands a sack of wool to a customer. He's been working since the sun came up, and now in the late afternoon his body is ready to rest. His legs feel like they're made of clay, heavy and slow, like the road he walked on to get here. The road was dusty today, and his boots are covered in it, little clouds puffing up with each step he took. That tiredness, though, isn't something Aldrich fights. He doesn't try to push it away or stay awake longer. He listens to it like it's a message from his body. It's saying, "You've done enough, it's okay to slow down." That's different from how we live now, isn't it? Today we have bright lights and phones that keep us up, telling us to do one more thing, check one more message. But Aldrich didn't have those. He had his cart, his wool, his donkey, and his coin. And when his body got tired, it was like a signal, a gentle nudge that said, "Go home, Aldrich, your bed is waiting." Aldrich thinks about his bed as he sits there. It's not a fancy bed, not like the ones we have now with soft mattresses and fluffy pillows. It's just a wooden frame with a sack of straw, covered by a wool blanket that's a little scratchy. But it's his bed, and it's cozy in its own way. He imagines he's lying down, pulling the blanket up to his chin and slipping his coin under his pillow. That thought makes his eyelids droop, like they're getting heavy just thinking about it. He sighs again, a long, slow breath that makes his whole body feel softer, like he's sinking into the sack he's sitting on. The coin in his pocket is like a reward for all his hard work. It's not a big coin, just a small, round piece of silver with a picture on it, maybe a king's face or a little cross. It's smooth from being handled so much, and it feels cool against his fingers when he touches it. Aldrich pats his pocket again, feeling the coin through the cloth. It's like a little star he carries with him, a shiny piece of the day that says, "You did good." He doesn't have a lot of coins, not like a rich person, but this one is enough. It's the one he'll sleep with tonight, the one that'll help him rest. Let's picture Aldrich's day for a moment. He started early, loading his cart with sacks of wool, each one heavy but soft. He tied them down with rope, his hands pulling and twisting until the knots were tight. He walked miles to the market, leading Clover down the dusty path. At the market, he set up his stall, talked to people, and sold his wool. He lifted sacks, handed them to customers, and took their coins, adding them to his pouch. Each task was small, but together they made his body tired. His legs walked far, his arms lifted heavy things, his hands tied ropes and shook hands with neighbors. Now, in the late afternoon, all that work is settling into his bones, making him feel heavy, ready to rest. Aldrich looks around the market, watching the people. The sun is lower now, casting long shadows across the ground. The air is cooler and the breeze feels nice on his face. He sees a lady buying apples, her basket full of red and green ones. A man is packing up his stall, tying his bread in a cloth. A dog runs by, chasing a stick a boy through. Aldrich smiles, his crinkly eyes twinkling. He likes the market, likes the people, the sounds, the smells, but he's ready to go home. His body is telling him it's time, and he listens. He pats his coin again, feeling its weight in his pocket. It's like a little anchor, keeping him steady. He thinks about his house, about Etta stirring the fire, about Wulfric and Agnes playing or maybe already eating their dinner. He thinks about the soup Etta will have waiting, warm and thick, with maybe some carrots or onions in it. The thought of that soup makes his tummy rumble, and the thought of his bed makes his eyes droop even more. He yawns, a big, slow yawn that makes his whole body feel like it's sinking deeper into tiredness. Let's imagine you're sitting with Aldrich on that sack of wool by his cart. You can feel the sun on your face, warm but not too hot. The breeze is cool, rustling the cloth over the stall. You can hear the market, the voices soft now as people start to pack up. Aldrich is next to you, his hands on his knees, his breathing slow and steady. You can see the dust on his boots, the straw in his beard, the way his shoulders slump a little. He's tired, but he's happy. He pats his pocket, and you know he's thinking about his coin, the one that'll go under his pillow tonight. Aldrich's tiredness is like a warm blanket wrapping around him. It's not heavy like a rock, but soft like a cloud. It's telling him to slow down, to go home, to rest. He doesn't fight it. He lets it settle over him like dust settling on the path after a cart rolls by. He thinks about his bed, about the straw that'll crunch under him, about the blanket that'll keep him warm. He thinks about his coin, cool and smooth, waiting to be tucked under his pillow. That thought makes him sigh again, a long, slow breath that feels like letting go of the day. The market is quieter now as people start to leave. Aldrich stands up, his legs heavy, his movements slow. He starts packing up his stall, tying the leftover sacks to his cart. Each task is small, just like before: lift a sack, tie a rope, check the cart. He moves carefully, like he's dancing to a slow song. Clover is ready to go, her head low, her hooves shuffling in the dust. Aldrich pats her neck, says, "Good girl," and starts leading her toward home. His pouch jingles with coins, but the special one, the one in his pocket, is the one he's thinking about. It's the one that'll help him sleep tonight. Let's picture Aldrich walking home, the cart creaking behind him. The sun is setting now, painting the sky with soft colors: pink, orange, purple. The air is cool and the path is quiet, except for the clip-clop of Clover's hooves and the creak of the cart. Aldrich's legs are heavy, his shoulders ache, but he's content. He's done his work for the day, sold his wool, earned his coins. He pats his pocket, feeling the coin, and smiles. He's thinking about home, about the fire, about his family. He's thinking about his bed, where he'll lie down, slip his coin under his pillow, and let the world slip away. That's Aldrich's day, full of hard work and tiredness, but also full of calm. His body is tired, but it's a good tired, the kind that leads to rest. His coin is there, a little reward, a little promise. He's ready to go home, to let the day fade to sleep. We'll follow him home soon, see what his bed is like, how he gets ready for the night. But for now, let's leave him here, walking down the path, his legs heavy, his coin close, his heart ready for rest. Aldrich's bed was simple, not like the big, fluffy beds we have today with soft mattresses and piles of pillows. It was just a wooden frame, like a box made of rough planks, with a mattress stuffed full of straw. The straw was packed tight inside a big cloth sack, and it made a crunchy sound when Aldrich moved. Over the mattress, he had a wool blanket that smelled a little like sheep, warm and heavy, but a bit scratchy on his skin. It wasn't soft or fancy, but it cradled him just fine, like a hug from someone who loves you. Aldrich didn't need a perfect bed. His bed was enough, and he liked it just the way it was. When Aldrich came home from the market, tired from his long day of trading, he'd shuffle to his bed, his boots scuffing the dirt floor. He'd sit on the edge of the mattress, and the straw would rustle under him like leaves crunching in the fall. He'd reach into his pocket and pull out his special coin, the one he'd picked that morning. It was a small, round piece of silver, smooth and cool, with a little picture on it, maybe a king's face or a cross. He'd hold it in his hand, feeling its weight, and smile. Then he'd slip it under his pillow, where it felt like a secret, a little treasure just for him. The coin was hard and cold at first, but it warmed up under his head like it was part of the bed, part of the night. The straw mattress wasn't soft like the beds we know, but Aldrich didn't mind. It held him up, kept him cozy, even if it was a little lumpy. Sometimes a stray piece of straw would poke through the cloth, tickling his arm or his cheek. He'd just brush it away, chuckling softly because it was normal. That's how his bed was, simple, a little rough, but his. He'd pull the wool blanket up to his chin, and it would settle over him, heavy and warm, like a big hug. The blanket smelled like sheep, like the wool he sold at the market, and that smell made him feel at home. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. It was enough. Let's picture Aldrich's room for a moment. It's small, with walls made of wood and a floor of packed dirt cool under his feet. The fire in the corner is low now, just a soft glow sending little shadows dancing on the walls. The air smells like wood smoke and maybe a bit of the soup Etta cooked for dinner. Outside, the village is quiet, with only the sound of the wind whispering through the straw roof. Aldrich's bed is in one corner, next to a wooden shutter that lets in a tiny bit of starlight. The mattress crunches as he lies down, and the blanket feels heavy, like it's tucking him in. He slips his coin under the pillow, and it's like a little secret, a shiny piece of the day he gets to keep. Aldrich's pillow isn't fluffy like ours. It's just another sack stuffed with straw, a bit flatter than the mattress. It rustles when he rests his head, and sometimes a piece of straw pokes out, but he doesn't care. He likes the sound, like a soft song that helps him sleep. The coin under the pillow is hard, a cool, smooth circle that he can feel through the cloth. It's not big, but it's enough to make him smile. It's like the coin is saying, "You worked hard today, Aldrich, now rest." He pulls the blanket up, tucks it around his shoulders, and lets out a long, slow sigh. The tiredness from the day settles over him like a warm cloud, and his eyelids start to droop. Let's imagine you're in Aldrich's room, sitting on a little stool by the fire. The room is small, but it feels safe, like a cozy cave. The fire crackles softly, and the air is warm with that sheepy smell from the blanket. Aldrich is lying on his bed, the straw crunching as he shifts to get comfortable. You can see his face, his beard with a bit of straw in it, his eyes crinkly and kind, even though they're half closed now. He's holding his coin, turning it over in his fingers, watching it shine in the firelight. Then he slips it under his pillow, and you can almost hear it settle there, a little clink against the straw. Aldrich's bed is his special place. It's where he goes when the day is done, when his legs are heavy and his shoulders ache from carrying sacks of wool. It's not a bed you'd see in a store today with bright colors and soft sheets. It's just wood and straw and wool, but it's his, and that makes it perfect in its own way. The mattress is lumpy, with bits of straw that stick out sometimes, but it holds him up, cradles him like a nest. The blanket is heavy, a little rough on his skin, but it keeps him warm, even on cold nights when the wind howls outside. And the coin, that shiny little coin, is like the best part of all, a secret he keeps close as he drifts off to sleep. The room is quiet now, except for the soft sounds of the night. The fire pops, sending a tiny spark into the air. Outside, the wind moves through the trees like a gentle lullaby. Aldrich's family is nearby, Edda in her own bed, Wulfric and Agnes on their little mattress in the corner. The dog Bruna is curled up by the fire, snoring softly, her shaggy fur rising and falling with each breath. Aldrich pulls the blanket tighter, feeling its weight, and rests his head on the pillow. The coin is there under the straw, cool and smooth, like a little piece of the day he's holding onto. Let's think about that coin for a moment. It's not big, just a small circle of silver with a picture stamped on it. It's smooth from being handled so much, and it feels cool in Aldrich's hand when he takes it out of his pocket. He likes the way it feels, like a pebble from a stream, hard but soft in its own way. When he slips it under his pillow, it's like he's hiding a treasure, a secret just for him. It's not about being rich, it's about feeling safe, feeling like the day was good, feeling like tomorrow will be okay. The coin is his little ritual, his way of ending the day, of saying, "I did enough." Aldrich's bed isn't perfect, but it doesn't need to be. It's not like the beds in stories about kings with silk sheets and golden frames. It's just straw and wood with a blanket that smells like sheep. But when Aldrich lies down, it feels right. The straw crunches, the blanket wraps him up, and the coin sits quietly under his pillow. It's like the bed is saying, "You're home, Aldrich, you're safe." He doesn't need soft pillows or fancy sheets. He just needs his bed, his coin, his quiet. They're enough to make him feel cozy, to make him ready for sleep. Let's picture Aldrich lying there, his eyes closing slowly. The room is dark now, except for the fire's soft glow. The straw mattress is under him, rustling a little as he shifts. The blanket is heavy, pulling him down into the bed like it's hugging him. The coin is under his pillow, a cool, hard circle that feels like a friend. Aldrich's breathing is slow, steady, like a wave lapping at the shore. He's tired from his day at the market, from lifting sacks and walking miles. But that tiredness is good, like a warm drink that makes you sleepy. He's ready to rest, ready to let the world fade away. The sounds in the room are soft, like a lullaby. The fire crackles low and gentle. Edda's breathing is quiet, a soft rhythm in the dark. Wulfric and Agnes are asleep, their little breaths mixing with the other sounds. Bruna's snores are like a funny song, making Aldrich smile even as his eyes close. Outside, the wind is whispering, and maybe an owl hoots far away. The village is still, wrapped in the quiet of the night. Aldrich's bed holds him, the straw crunching softly, the blanket keeping him warm. The coin is there under his pillow, like a secret that helps him sleep. Let's imagine you're lying in a bed like Aldrich's just for a moment. It's not soft like your bed, but it's cozy in its own way. The mattress is straw and it rustles when you move like dry leaves. The blanket is heavy, a little scratchy, with that sheepy smell that makes you think of fields and wool. You slip a coin under your pillow, a small, cool circle that feels special. You can feel it there through the straw and it makes you smile. The room is dark with just a little light from the fire. You hear the wind outside, the soft snores of a dog, the quiet breathing of people you love. You pull the blanket up and it's like the whole world is hugging you. Aldrich's bed is his place to rest, to let go of the day. It's where he goes when his legs are heavy and his hands are sore. It's where he feels safe with his coin under his pillow and his family nearby. The mattress isn't perfect with its lumps and pokey straw, but it holds him just fine. The blanket isn't soft, but it's warm, and that's what matters. The coin isn't big or shiny like a treasure, but it's his, and it makes him feel ready for sleep. All these things, the bed, the blanket, the coin, the quiet, they're enough. They make Aldrich's world feel cozy, like a nest he can curl up in. Let's stay with Aldrich a little longer. Picture him lying in his bed, the straw crunching as he settles. His eyes are closed now, his breathing slow. The blanket is tucked around him, heavy and warm. The coin is under his pillow, a little secret that makes him feel safe. The fire is low, just a soft glow, and the room is quiet except for the gentle sounds of the night. Aldrich is tired, but it's a good tired, the kind that leads to sleep. He's ready to drift off, to let the day go, to let the coin and the bed hold him. That's Aldrich's bed, simple but good, not perfect but enough. It's where he rests, where he feels at home, where his coin helps him sleep. We'll see more of his night soon, see who sleeps close to him, how his family makes the room feel even cozier. But for now, let's leave him here in his bed with the straw rustling, the blanket warm, and the coin under his pillow, ready for a good night's sleep. Aldrich didn't sleep alone. His bed was cozy, but it wasn't just for him. His wife Edda was there, lying close, her breathing soft and steady like a gentle wave. Their two children, little Wulfric and Agnes, were curled up nearby on a smaller bed, a pallet made of straw just like Aldrich's. Sometimes the family's old dog, Bruna, would flop down at the foot of the bed, her shaggy fur warm against their feet. The room was small, and it felt crowded sometimes, with everyone so close. But that closeness wasn't a problem. It was warm, it was safe, it was like a big hug from everyone Aldrich loved. The coin under his pillow was his own special thing, a little secret just for him. But the closeness of his family, their soft breaths mixing together, was for everyone like a quiet song that helped him sleep deeper. Let's picture Aldrich's room at night. It's small, with wooden walls and a straw roof that rustles when the wind blows. The fire in the corner is low, just a soft glow making shadows dance on the walls. The air smells like wood smoke and maybe a bit of the soup Edda made for dinner. Aldrich's bed is in one corner, a wooden frame with a straw mattress that crunches when he moves. His wool blanket is heavy, a little scratchy but warm, pulled up to his chin. Under his pillow, his coin sits, a cool, smooth circle that feels like a secret. It's his, something he picked from the day's trade, a little piece of his hard work. Next to Aldrich is Edda, his wife. She's lying close, her breathing slow and soft like a whisper. Edda is kind with a laugh like bells, but now she's quiet, her eyes closed, her face peaceful. Her hair is tucked under a cloth cap, and she's wrapped in her own wool blanket, just like Aldrich's. Her breathing is steady in and out, like the rhythm of a lullaby. Aldrich can hear it, and it makes him feel safe, like he's not alone in the dark. Edda's closeness is like a warm light, even when the room is dim. She's there right beside him, and that makes the bed feel even cozier. Nearby, on a smaller pallet, are Wulfric and Agnes, their two children. The pallet is just a little mattress, stuffed with straw like Aldrich, but smaller, made for kids. Wulfric is a little boy, maybe 6 years old, with messy hair that sticks up even when he's sleeping. He's curled up tight, his knees pulled to his chest like a little ball. His breathing is quick and light, like he's dreaming of running or playing with the chickens in the yard. Agnes is younger, maybe 4, and she's quieter, holding her wooden doll even in her sleep. Her breathing is soft, like a tiny breeze, and her face looks calm, like she's dreaming of something happy. The kids are close enough that Aldrich can hear them, their breaths mixing with Edda, like a soft song that fills the room. Then there's Bruna, the family's old dog. Bruna is shaggy, with fur that's a mix of brown and gray, and she loves to sleep by the bed. Sometimes she flops right at the foot, her warm body pressing against Aldrich's feet or Edda's. Her fur is soft and her warmth seeps into their toes like a cozy blanket just for their feet. Bruna snores, a funny, rumbly sound that makes Aldrich smile even as he's drifting off. Sometimes she twitches in her sleep, her paws moving like she's chasing a rabbit in her dreams. Bruna's snores and the kids' soft breaths and Edda's steady breathing all mix together like a chorus, a quiet song that makes the room feel full of love. Let's imagine you're in Aldrich's room, sitting on a little stool by the fire. The room is small, but it feels warm and safe, like a nest. The fire is low, just a soft glow, and the air smells like smoke and wool. You can see Aldrich's bed with him lying there, his blanket pulled up high. Edda is next to him, her breathing slow and calm. Wulfric and Agnes are on their pallet, curled up like little kittens. Bruna is at the foot of the bed, her shaggy fur rising and falling with each snore. You can hear all their breaths soft and steady, like a song that makes you want to close your eyes. Aldrich's coin is under his pillow, a secret only he knows, but the closeness of his family is something everyone shares. The room feels crowded sometimes, with everyone so close. Aldrich's bed is big enough for him and Edda, but it's not huge, and the kid's pallet is just a few steps away. Bruna takes up space too, her big body sprawled out at the foot of the bed, but crowded isn't bad. It's cozy, like when you snuggle with your family on a couch to watch a movie. Being close makes Aldrich feel safe, like nothing can hurt him. The coin under his pillow is his own, a little piece of his day that he keeps to himself. But the warmth of Edda, the soft breaths of Wulfric and Agnes, and Bruna's snores there for everyone, and they make the room feel like home. Aldrich lies in his bed, listening to the sounds of his family. Edda's breathing is like a gentle wave, in and out, in and out. Wulfric's breaths are quicker, like he's dreaming of running through the fields. Agnes's breaths are so soft, you can barely hear them, like a whisper in the dark. Bruna's snores are louder, a funny, grumbly noise that makes Aldrich smile. He feels the coin under his pillow, cool and smooth, and it's like a little anchor, keeping him steady. But it's his family's closeness that makes him feel truly safe, like he's wrapped in a big, warm hug that lasts all night. Let's picture the room again. The fire is just aglow now, sending soft light across the walls. The wooden shutters are closed, but a tiny bit of starlight sneaks through the cracks like little sparkles in the dark. The straw roof rustles when the wind blows, a soft sound that mixes with the family's breathing. Aldrich's bed is simple, with a straw mattress that crunches when he moves. His blanket is heavy, smelling like sheep, and it keeps him warm. Edda is close, her shoulder touching his, her breathing calm. The kids are nearby, their pallet just a few steps away, and Bruna is at the foot, her warmth making their feet cozy. The coin is under Aldrich's pillow, a secret that helps him sleep, but his family's closeness is what makes the night feel so good. Aldrich doesn't mind that the room is small or that everyone sleeps so close. It's how things are in his village in his time. People didn't have big houses with lots of rooms like we do now. Families stayed together, sharing the warmth, sharing the space. It wasn't crowded in a bad way. It was crowded in a good way, like when you pile into a car with your family and everyone's laughing. Aldrich likes hearing Edda's breathing, knowing she's there. He likes knowing Wulfric and Agnes are close, safe, and sound. He even likes Bruna's snores because they're part of the family, part of the night. Let's think about that closeness for a moment. Imagine you're lying in a bed like Aldrich, with straw that crunches and a blanket that's warm but a little scratchy. Someone you love is close, maybe your mom or dad or a brother or sister or even a pet. You can hear their breathing, soft and steady, like a song that makes you feel safe. You can feel their warmth, like a hug that doesn't let go. That's what Aldrich feels, lying in his bed with Edda beside him, the kids nearby, and Bruna at his feet. The coin under his pillow is his own, but the closeness of his family is everyone's, and it's what makes his sleep so deep, so peaceful. The room is quiet now, except for the soft sounds of the night. The fire pops once in a while, sending a tiny spark into the air. The wind outside whispers through the trees like a gentle lullaby. Edda's breathing is slow, Wulfric is quick, Agnes's is soft, and Bruna's snores are loud but funny. Aldrich listens to them all, his eyes closed, his body relaxed. He feels the coin under his pillow, a cool, smooth circle that's like a secret friend. But it's his family's closeness that makes him feel truly at home, truly ready to sleep. Let's imagine you're part of Aldrich's family, lying on a pallet like Wulfric and Agnes. Your bed is straw and it rustles when you move. Your blanket is warm with that sheepy smell. You can hear Aldrich and Edda breathing, slow and steady. You can hear Wulfric's quick breaths, Agnes's soft ones, and Bruna's funny snores. The room is small, but it's cozy, like a nest where everyone's safe. You feel warm, you feel loved, and you know that nothing can hurt you here. The night is quiet, and the closeness of everyone around you is like a big, soft hug that helps you drift off. Aldrich's coin is his own, a little piece of the day he keeps under his pillow. It's cool and smooth, and it makes him feel safe, like he's done enough. But the real safety, the real warmth, comes from his family. Edda's breathing, the kid's soft sighs, Bruna's snores, they're like a song that wraps around him, lulling him deeper into rest. The room might be crowded, but it's a good crowded, a cozy crowded. It's a family crowded, and that's what makes Aldrich sleep so good, so deep, so peaceful. Let's stay with Aldrich a little longer. Picture him lying in his bed, the straw mattress crunching softly. Edda is beside him, her breathing like a gentle wave. Wulfric and Agnes are on their pallet, curled up tight, their breaths soft and quick. Bruna is at the foot, her snores rumbling like a funny drum. The coin is under Aldrich's pillow, a secret that makes him smile. The room is warm, the fire is low, and the night is quiet. Aldrich's family is close, their breaths mixing like a chorus, a song that helps him sleep. We'll hear more about the night soon, about the sounds that fill it, how they make Aldrich sleep even better. But for now, let's leave him here with his family around him, his coin under his pillow, and his heart full of warmth. The night wasn't silent, not in Aldrich's little house in the medieval village. It was full of soft, gentle sounds, like a quiet song that wrapped around him as he lay in bed. Outside, the wind whispered through the straw roof, making a soft, rustling noise like someone brushing their hand over dry leaves. In the yard, a goat bleated softly, a little baa that floated through the air, calm and far away. Inside, the fire in the corner popped, sending a tiny spark skittering across the stone hearth like a star falling in the dark. Aldrich's coin, tucked under his pillow, didn't make a sound, but he knew it was there, cool and smooth like a secret friend. These noises, the wind, the goat, the fire, weren't loud or annoying. They were gentle, like the world breathing with Aldrich, a lullaby made of everyday things. He listened to them, his eyes half closed, his mind half dreaming, as the sounds carried him closer to sleep. Let's picture Aldrich's room at night. It's small, with wooden walls and a dirt floor that feels cool underfoot. The fire is low, just a soft glow making shadows wiggle on the walls. The air smells like wood smoke, with a hint of the wool blanket on Aldrich's bed. His bed is simple, just a wooden frame with a straw mattress that crunches when he moves. His blanket is heavy, a little scratchy, and smells like sheep. Under his pillow is his coin, a small, round piece of silver, smooth and cool, like a pebble from a stream. Aldrich lies there, his breathing slow, his body tired from a long day at the market. The coin is quiet, but he knows it's there, and that makes him feel safe, like everything's okay. Outside, the wind moves through the straw roof, making that soft, whispering sound. It's not a loud wind, not like a storm that howls and shakes the house. It's gentle, like someone telling a story in a quiet voice. The straw roof rustles, a soft, shushing noise that's almost like a lullaby. Aldrich listens to it, his head resting on his straw pillow, and it feels like the wind is singing just for him. It's a sound he knows, a sound he hears every night, and it makes him feel cozy, like he's wrapped in the night itself. In the yard, one of the goats bleats softly. It's a little baa, so quiet you might miss it if you weren't listening. The goat isn't upset or scared, it's just talking in its sleep, maybe dreaming of the grass it ate that day. Aldrich hears it through the wooden shutters, and it makes him smile just a little as his eyes start to close. The goat's bleat is like a friend saying good night, a small sound that reminds him of his village, his home, his life. It's not loud enough to wake him up, it's just right, a gentle note in the night's song. Inside, the fire pops, a soft crackle that sends a tiny spark flying across the hearth. The spark lands on the stone, glowing for a moment before it fades. The fire is low now, almost out, but it still gives off a warm glow that makes the room feel safe. The popping sound is soft, like a little snap, and it happens every few minutes like a heartbeat. Aldrich likes that sound. It's familiar, like the creak of his cart or the jingle of his coins at the market. It's part of his home, part of the night, and it helps him feel ready to sleep. Let's imagine you're in Aldrich's room, lying on a straw pallet nearby. The room is small, but it's cozy, like a warm hug. The fire is glowing softly, and you can smell the wood smoke mixed with the sheepy smell of the blanket. You hear the wind outside, whispering through the straw roof, a soft, shushing sound. The goat bleats again, far away, a little baa that makes you smile. The fire pops and a spark dances across the hearth like a tiny firefly. You can see Aldrich in his bed, his blanket pulled up, his eyes half closed. He's listening to the same sounds, and you know he's feeling the coin under his pillow, even though it's quiet. Aldrich's coin doesn't make a sound, but he knows it's there. It's under his pillow, a cool, smooth circle that feels like a secret. He can feel it through the straw, hard and steady, like a little piece of the day he's keeping close. The coin is special, not because it's worth a lot, but because it's his. He picked it that morning after a day of trading at the market, and now it's with him, helping him feel safe. The wind, the goat, the fire, they're all part of the night's song, but the coin is his own quiet friend, there even when it's silent. The sounds of the night aren't loud or scary. They're soft, like a lullaby you've heard 100 times. The wind whispers, the goat bleats, the fire pops, and together they make a song that wraps around Aldrich like a blanket. He listens, his breathing slow, his body heavy from the day's work. His legs are tired from walking, his shoulders ache from lifting sacks, but the sounds of the night make him feel calm. They're not disruptions, not like a phone buzzing or a car honking. They're part of the world, part of his world, and they help him drift closer to sleep. Let's picture the village outside Aldrich's house. It's dark now, with stars twinkling in the sky like little candles. The houses are quiet, their fires low, their shutters closed. The dirt path that runs through the village is empty, no carts creaking, no footsteps thumping. The wind moves through the trees, making the leaves rustle, a soft shushing sound that mixes with the straw roof's whisper. Somewhere another goat bleats and maybe a dog barks, but it's far away, soft and gentle. The village is asleep, but it's alive with these quiet sounds, like a big, cozy blanket covering everyone. Inside, Aldrich's family is part of the night song too. Edda is beside him, her breathing soft and steady like a wave lapping at the shore. Wulfric and Agnes are on their little pallet, their breaths quick and light, like they're dreaming of running or playing. Bruna, the old dog, is at the foot of the bed, her snores rumbling like a funny drum. These sounds mix with the wind, the goat, the fire, making a chorus that fills the room. Aldrich listens, his eyes closed, his hand resting near his pillow where the coin is. The sounds aren't loud, they're just right, like a song that helps him sleep. Let's imagine you're lying in a bed like Aldrich, with straw that crunches and a blanket that's warm but a little scratchy. You hear the wind outside whispering through the roof. You hear a goat bleat soft and far away. The fire pops and a spark dances across the hearth. You can hear Edda's breathing, Wulfric's quick breaths, Agnes's soft ones, and Bruna's funny snores. The sounds are all around you like a cozy blanket made of noise. They're not loud or scary, they're gentle, like a lullaby your mom might sing. You feel safe, like the world is breathing with you, helping you drift off. Aldrich loves these sounds. They're part of his night, part of his home. The wind is like a friend whispering stories through the roof. The goat's bleat is like a neighbor saying good night. The fire's pop is like a little heartbeat, keeping the room warm. And the coin under his pillow, even though it's quiet, is part of it all. It's his secret, his little piece of the day that he keeps close. He doesn't need it to make a sound. It's enough to know it's there, cool and smooth, helping him feel safe as he listens to the night. The night sounds are like a song that never ends. The wind keeps whispering, the goat keeps bleating, the fire keeps popping. Sometimes there's another sound, a creak from the wooden walls, or a soft thud as a log shifts in the fire. These sounds aren't loud, but they're there, filling the quiet with a gentle hum. Aldrich listens, his mind half dreaming, his body relaxed. He's tired from the market, from walking and lifting and talking all day. But the sounds of the night make him feel calm, like the world is saying, "It's okay, Aldrich, you can rest now." Let's picture Aldrich lying in his bed, the straw mattress crunching softly as he shifts. His blanket is heavy, keeping him warm. The coin is under his pillow, a cool, smooth circle that feels like a secret. The wind whispers outside, a soft, shushing sound. The goat bleats again, a little baa that's almost too quiet to hear. The fire pops, sending another spark across the hearth. Edda's breathing is slow and steady, Wulfric is quick, Agnes's is soft, and Bruna's snores are loud but funny. Aldrich listens to them all, his eyes closed, his breathing slow. The sounds are like a lullaby, carrying him closer to sleep, deeper into the night. The night sounds are part of Aldrich's world, part of what makes his sleep so good. They're not like the noises we hear today, cars honking, phones buzzing, TVs blaring. They're soft, natural, like the world breathing with him. The wind, the goat, the fire, his family's breaths, they're all part of the same song, a quiet chorus that wraps around him. The coin under his pillow is silent, but it's part of the night too, a little piece of his day that helps him rest. Aldrich doesn't fight the sounds or try to block them out. He lets them in, lets them carry him, lets them sing him to sleep. Let's stay with Aldrich a little longer. Imagine his room dark and cozy with the fire's soft glow. The wind is whispering, the goat is bleating, the fire is popping. Edda's breathing is steady, the kids' breaths are light, and Bruna's snores are funny. The coin is under Aldrich's pillow, quiet but there like a secret friend. He's half dreaming now, his mind soft and fuzzy as the sounds of the night wrap around him. They're not disruptions, they're part of his world, part of his sleep. We'll hear more about his night soon, about how he wakes sometimes and what he thinks about. But for now, let's leave him here, listening to the night's lullaby, his coin under his pillow, drifting closer to sleep. Sleep wasn't one long stretch for Aldrich. It wasn't like closing your eyes at night and waking up when the sun came up. Instead, he often woke in the dark long before morning. The fire in his little room was low, just a soft glow, like a tiny candle flickering in the corner. The air was cool, slipping through the cracks in the wooden shutters, making his nose feel chilly. This waking up in the middle of the night was normal, something people did back then. Later, they called it segmented sleep, which just means sleep that's broken into pieces. Aldrich didn't have a name for it, he just knew it was part of his night. When he woke, Aldrich would lie there, still and quiet, his body heavy on his straw mattress. The mattress crunched a little when he shifted, like dry leaves underfoot. His wool blanket was warm, pulled up to his chin, smelling faintly of sheep. Under his pillow, his special coin was there, a small, round piece of silver, cool and smooth. He'd reach up with his fingers, feeling its edges through the cloth of the pillow, not taking it out, just touching it. The coin was like a friend, always there, a little piece of the day that made him feel safe. He didn't need to rush back to sleep. The night was patient, like a kind old dog waiting for him to be ready. He'd drift back to sleep eventually, the coin a quiet anchor keeping him steady. Sometimes, when Aldrich woke in the dark, he'd think about the market. He'd picture his cart creaking down the dusty path loaded with sacks of wool. He'd think about the people he talked to, their smiles, their voices, the jingle of coins in his pouch. Other times, he'd think about Edda, his wife, lying beside him. He'd hear her soft breathing, steady and calm, and remember her laugh, bright like bells. Sometimes he didn't think about anything at all, just lay there, listening to the night, feeling the coin under his pillow. There was no hurry, no worry. The night was long, and sleep would come again when it was ready. Let's picture Aldrich's room in the middle of the night. It's small, with wooden walls and a dirt floor that's cold if you step on it. The fire is low, just a few red embers glowing, giving off a soft, warm light. Shadows move on the walls, slow and gentle, like they're dancing to a quiet song. The air is cool, with the smell of wood smoke in the sheepy wool blanket. Aldrich's bed is simple, just a wooden frame with a straw mattress that rustles when he moves. His blanket is heavy, keeping him warm even when the air feels chilly. Under his pillow, the coin sits, a cool, smooth circle like a secret he's keeping close. Aldrich lies there, his eyes half open, looking at the shadows on the ceiling. He's not wide awake, not like when you wake up for school and jump out of bed. He's in a soft, sleepy place where his thoughts are slow and fuzzy. He feels the coin under his pillow, its edges pressing through the cloth. It's not big, just a small piece of silver with a picture on it, maybe a king's face or a little cross. He likes how it feels, smooth and cool, like a pebble you find by a river. He doesn't take it out, just touches it, letting his fingers rest there. It's like the coin is saying, "You're okay, Aldrich. The day was good and sleep will come again." Let's imagine you're in Aldrich's room, lying on a straw pallet nearby. The room is dark, but the fire's glow makes it feel cozy, like a warm hug. You can hear the wind outside, whispering through the straw roof, a soft, shushing sound. A goat bleats far away, a little baa that's gentle and calm. The fire pops, sending a tiny spark across the hearth. You can hear Edda's breathing, slow and steady, and the kids, Wulfric and Agnes, on their pallet, their breaths quick and light. Bruna, the dog, is snoring at the foot of the bed, a funny, rumbly noise. You look over and see Aldrich lying still, his hand near his pillow where his coin is. He's awake, but he's calm, his eyes soft, his breathing slow. When Aldrich woke like this, it wasn't a problem. It wasn't like he was worried or scared. It was just part of the night, like the wind or the fire's pop. Back then, people didn't expect to sleep all the way through. They had 2 sleeps or sometimes 3 with little breaks in between. Aldrich would lie there, feeling the coin, listening to the sounds around him. The wind whispered through the roof, a soft, rustling noise that was like a lullaby. The goat bleated again, so quiet it was like a dream. The fire popped and the shadows danced, slow and gentle. These sounds weren't loud, they were part of the night, part of the world breathing with Aldrich. Sometimes, Aldrich's thoughts would wander to the market. He'd think about a lady who bought his wool, her basket full of apples she traded for a sack. He'd remember her smile, the way she said, "This wool will make a fine blanket." He'd think about his cart, how it creaked on the path, and Clover, his donkey, who stopped to nibble grass when she thought he wasn't looking. He'd smile, just a little, his eyes still half closed, as the memories floated through his mind. The coin under his pillow was part of those thoughts, a shiny piece of the market he kept close. It wasn't about being rich, it was about feeling good, feeling like the day was worth it. Other times, Aldrich thought about Etta. He'd listen to her breathing, so soft and steady, and picture her face, her eyes that sparkled when she laughed. He'd think about the way she stirred the soup at dinner, or how she tucked the kids into their pallet, singing a quiet song. Etta was his best friend, and having her close made the night feel warmer, even when the air was cool. He'd feel the coin under his pillow, and it was like the coin was part of Etta, too, part of their life together. It wasn't just a coin, it was a piece of their day, their work, their home. Sometimes, Aldrich didn't think at all. He'd just lie there, his mind empty, like a clear sky with no clouds. He'd listen to the night sounds, the wind, the goat, the fire, his family's breathing. He'd feel the coin, its edges smooth under the cloth, and let his body relax. There was no rush, no need to do anything. The night was long, and sleep would come again like a friend who never leaves for long. Aldrich liked these quiet moments, these midnight breaks when the world was still and he could just be. Let's picture Aldrich lying in his bed, the straw mattress crunching softly as he shifts. His blanket is heavy, keeping him warm, its sheepy smell comforting. The coin is under his pillow, a cool, smooth circle that feels like a secret. The fire's glow is soft, making the room feel cozy. The wind whispers outside, a gentle shushing sound. The goat bleats far away, a little baa that's like a whisper. The fire pops and a spark dances across the hearth. Etta's breathing is slow, Wulfric is quick, Agnes's is soft, and Bruna's snores are funny. Aldrich listens, his eyes half open, his thoughts slow and gentle, like a stream flowing quietly. The midnight break wasn't something Aldrich worried about. It was just part of his sleep, like waking up to sip water and then going back to bed. He didn't have a clock ticking, telling him to hurry. He didn't have a phone buzzing, keeping him awake. He just had his bed, his coin, his family, and the night. The coin was his anchor, a little piece of the day that stayed with him. He'd touch it, feel its edges, and know that everything was okay. The market was done, his work was done, and now he could rest, even if he was awake for a little while. Let's imagine you're in Aldrich's place, lying in a bed like his. The straw mattress crunches under you and the blanket is heavy, warm, a little scratchy. You feel a coin under your pillow, a cool, smooth circle that's yours. The room is dark, but the fire's glow makes it cozy. You hear the wind whispering, the goat bleating, the fire popping. You hear your family's breathing, soft and steady like a song. You're awake, but you're not worried. There's no rush, no hurry. You just lie there, feeling the coin, listening to the night, knowing sleep will come again. It's a quiet moment, a soft moment, like a hug from the dark. Aldrich's thoughts when he had them were simple. He didn't think about big things like being rich or famous. He thought about small things like the wool he sold or the way Clover snorted when he patted her. He thought about Etta's laugh or how Wulfric ran after the chickens, his little legs pumping. He thought about Agnes holding her wooden doll, her eyes big and quiet. These thoughts were gentle, like ripples in a pond, and they didn't keep him awake. They were part of the night, part of the midnight break, helping him feel connected to his life. The coin under his pillow was part of that connection. It was a little piece of the market, a shiny reminder of his work. It wasn't big or fancy, just a small silver coin, but it was his. He'd feel it, its edges smooth, its surface cool, and it was like holding a piece of the day. The coin didn't talk, didn't shine in the dark, but it was there steady and quiet like Aldrich himself. It was his anchor, keeping him calm, helping him drift back to sleep when the time was right. The night was patient, like a kind old friend who doesn't mind waiting. Aldrich didn't feel rushed to sleep again. He could lie there listening to the wind, the goat, the fire, his family. He could think about the market or Edda or nothing at all. The sounds of the night were soft, like a lullaby that never stopped. The wind whispered, the goat bleated, the fire popped, and Edda's breathing mixed with the kids and Bruna's snores. It was a quiet chorus, a song that wrapped around Aldrich, making him feel safe, making him ready to sleep again. Let's stay with Aldrich a little longer. Picture him in his bed, the straw mattress soft under him, the blanket heavy and warm. The coin is under his pillow, a cool, smooth circle he can feel with his fingers. The fire's glow is faint, the room dark but cozy. The wind whispers outside, the goat bleats softly, the fire pops. Edda's breathing is steady, the kids' breaths are light, and Bruna's snores are funny. Aldrich is awake, but he's calm, his thoughts slow, his body relaxed. He's in his midnight break, a quiet moment in the night, and he knows sleep will come again, with the coin as his anchor. That's Aldrich's night, full of gentle waking and soft drifting back to sleep. The coin is there, quiet and steady, a little piece of his day. The sounds of the night, the closeness of his family, the patience of the dark, they all help him rest. We'll hear more about his sleep soon, about what he dreams of, how the coin feels in the morning. But for now, let's leave him here, lying in the dark, feeling his coin, listening to the night, drifting back to sleep. On clear nights, when the sky was like a big, dark blanket full of sparkles, Aldrich would peek through the wooden shutter of his little house. He'd push it open just a crack, careful not to let in too much cold air, and look up at the stars. The stars glittered like tiny coins scattered across the sky, bright and shiny, twinkling in the deep, pure dark. There were no streetlights to make them dim, no bright city glow to hide them. It was just the stars, the night, and the quiet world. Aldrich would feel small, but not in a bad way, like he was scared or lost. It was a good kind of small, like he was part of something big and beautiful. The night held him like it held the stars, the trees, and the whole sleeping world. His coin, cool and smooth under his pillow, felt like it was part of that big night, too, a tiny piece of the earth's treasure, keeping him steady as he let the dark wrap around him. Let's picture Aldrich's room on one of those clear nights. It's small, with wooden walls and a dirt floor that feels cool if you touch it. The fire in the corner is low, just a soft glow like a sleepy candle. The air smells like wood smoke in the wool blanket on Aldrich's bed, which smells a little like sheep. His bed is simple, just a wooden frame with a straw mattress that crunches when he moves. The blanket is heavy, warm, and a bit scratchy, pulled up to his chin. Under his pillow is his special coin, a small, round piece of silver, smooth and cool, like a pebble you find by a stream. Aldrich lies there, his body tired from a long day at the market, his breathing slow and calm. Sometimes, when Aldrich couldn't sleep right away, or when he woke up in the middle of the night, he'd slip out of bed and tiptoe to the shutter. His bare feet would touch the cold dirt floor, making him shiver a little, but he didn't mind. He'd push the shutter open just a tiny bit and peek outside. The sky was so dark, like a big black blanket, and the stars were like shiny coins tossed across it, twinkling and sparkling. There were so many stars, more than Aldrich could count, each one a little light in the night. He'd stand there, his breath making little clouds in the cool air, and just look, feeling the quiet of the night all around him. The stars made Aldrich feel small, but it was a good kind of small. It wasn't like feeling unimportant or forgot. It was like being part of something huge, something wonderful. The stars were so far away, but they felt close, like they were watching over him, over his village, over the whole world. The night was big, bigger than anything Aldrich could imagine, but it wasn't scary. It was gentle, like a soft hand holding him, keeping him safe. He'd think about how the stars were there every night, even when clouds hid them, and it made him feel like he was part of something that never changed, something that was always there. Let's imagine you're in Aldrich's room, standing by the shutter with him. The room is dark, but the fire's glow makes it cozy, like a warm hug. You can smell the wood smoke in the sheepy blanket. You hear the straw mattress crunch as Aldrich moves, and the soft breathing of Edda, his wife, and their kids, Wulfric and Agnes, on their little pallet nearby. Bruna the dog is snoring at the foot of the bed, a funny, rumbly sound. Aldrich pushes the shutter open, just a crack, and you peek out with him. The sky is dark like a big black sea, and the stars are twinkling like tiny coins shining in the night. You feel small but safe, like the night is holding you too. Aldrich's coin under his pillow was like a little piece of the stars. It wasn't shiny like them, not in the dark, but it felt the same in a way. It was small, just a round piece of silver with a picture on it, maybe a king's face or a cross. But when Aldrich touched it, feeling its smooth edges through the cloth of his pillow, it was like holding a tiny piece of the earth's treasure. The stars were the sky's treasure, scattered across the night, and the coin was Aldrich's treasure, grounding him, keeping him steady. It wasn't about being rich, it was about feeling connected to the day, to the night, to the big, beautiful world. The night was pure and deep, with no lights to make it less dark. Back then there were no streetlights glowing outside, no cars with bright headlights, no houses with windows lit up. It was just the dark, the stars, and maybe the soft glow of a fire or a candle in another house. That darkness made the stars stand out like they were the only thing in the world. Aldrich liked that. He liked how the night was quiet, how it felt like it was just him and the stars, even with his family sleeping close by. The coin under his pillow was part of that quiet, part of that dark, like a little piece of the night he could hold. Let's picture Aldrich standing by the shutter, looking at the stars. His breath makes little clouds in the cool air, and his bare feet are chilly on the dirt floor. The stars are so bright, twinkling like they're winking at him. He feels small, but it's a good small, like being a little fish in a big, kind ocean. The night is holding him like it holds the stars, the trees, the sleeping goats in the yard. He thinks about his coin, waiting under his pillow, and it feels like it belongs to the night, too. It's a tiny piece of the earth, a shiny bit of silver that's his, and it makes him feel steady, like he's part of the big, beautiful dark. Aldrich would close the shutter after a while, careful not to make it creak too loud. He tiptoed back to his bed, the straw mattress crunching as he climbed in. The blanket was still warm, wrapping around him like a hug. He'd slip his hand under the pillow, feeling the coin, its cool, smooth surface steady against his fingers. He'd lie down, his head sinking into the straw pillow, and think about the stars. They were still out there, glittering, even though he couldn't see them anymore. The coin was like one of those stars, small but important, keeping him safe as he closed his eyes. The night held Aldrich like it held everything else. It held the stars twinkling in the sky. It held the trees standing tall and quiet outside. It held the village with its little houses and sleeping people. It held the goats curled up in the yard and the dog Bruna snoring by the bed. It held Edda breathing softly beside him and Wulfric and Agnes dreaming on their pallet. The night was big, but it was gentle, like a soft blanket that covered the whole world. Aldrich felt that lying in his bed, the coin under his pillow, and it made him feel safe, like he belonged. Let's imagine you're lying in Aldrich's bed, feeling the straw mattress crunch under you. The blanket is heavy, warm, with that sheepy smell. You've just peeked at the stars, and now you're back in bed, the coin under your pillow. You can feel it cool and smooth, like a little piece of the night. The room is dark, but the fire's glow makes it cozy. You hear Edda's breathing, slow and steady, and the kids' quick, light breaths. Bruna's snores are funny, like a song that makes you smile. The wind whispers outside, and a goat bleats far away. You think about the stars glittering like coins, and you feel small but safe, like the night is holding you too. Aldrich's coin was his connection to the night, to the stars, to the earth. It wasn't just money, it was a piece of his day, his work, his life. When he traded wool at the market, he earned coins, and this one was special, the one he picked to keep close. It was like a tiny star he could hold, a shiny bit of silver that made him feel steady. The stars were far away, too big to touch, but the coin was right there under his pillow, grounding him as he let the dark take over. It was like the coin and the stars were friends, both part of the same big, beautiful night. The darkness of the night was pure, like a deep, calm lake. There was nothing to make it less dark, no lights to chase the stars away. Aldrich liked that darkness. It made the stars shine brighter, made the night feel bigger. He'd lie in his bed, thinking about the stars he saw, and feel the coin under his pillow. It was like the coin was a little piece of that darkness, a small, shiny thing that belonged to the night. He didn't need to see it to know it was there. He could feel it, and that was enough. Let's picture Aldrich lying in his bed, the straw mattress soft under him, the blanket heavy and warm. The coin is under his pillow, a cool, smooth circle he can feel with his fingers. The room is quiet, except for the soft sounds of the night, the wind whispering, a goat bleating, the fire popping. Edda's breathing is steady, the kids' breaths are light, and Bruna's snores are funny. Aldrich thinks about the stars, glittering like coins, and feels small, but not in a bad way. The night is holding him like it holds the whole world, and the coin is his anchor, keeping him steady as he drifts back to sleep. The stars were like a big, sparkly blanket over the world, and Aldrich felt like he was part of it. He wasn't a king or a knight, just a trader with a cart and some wool, but the stars didn't care. They shone for him just like they shone for everyone. The coin under his pillow was his own little star, a piece of the earth's wealth that he could hold. It wasn't about being rich, it was about feeling connected to the night, to the stars, to the quiet, sleeping world. Aldrich would close his eyes, the coin cool under his pillow, and let the night carry him away like a boat on a gentle river. Let's stay with Aldrich a little longer. Imagine his room dark and cozy with the fire's soft glow. The straw mattress crunches as he settles, the blanket keeping him warm. The coin is under his pillow, a quiet, steady friend. The wind whispers outside, a goat bleats, the fire pops. Edda's breathing is calm, the kids' breaths are soft, and Bruna's snores are funny. Aldrich is thinking about the stars, about how they glitter like coins, about how the night holds him. He feels small but safe, like he's part of something big and beautiful. The coin is his anchor, and the night is his home, guiding him back to sleep. That's Aldrich's night, full of stars and quiet wonder, with his coin grounding him as he surrenders to the dark. The night is big, but it's gentle, holding him like it holds the whole world. We'll hear more about his morning soon, about how he wakes to start the day again. But for now, let's leave him here in his bed with the coin under his pillow, the stars glittering outside, and the night wrapping him in its calm, sleepy embrace. Dinner was simple but warm in Aldrich's little house. After a long day at the market, when his legs were heavy and his hands were sore, Aldrich would come home to the cozy smell of food cooking over the fire. His wife Edda would be there, stirring a big pot of pottage, a thick, hearty soup made of barley, onions, and maybe a bit of cabbage. The pottage bubbled softly, sending steam into the air, making the room feel warm and welcoming. Aldrich would sit at the wooden table, a rough, sturdy table made from planks, and Edda would ladle the pottage into a wooden bowl for him. He'd take a piece of coarse bread, dark and chewy, and dip it into the pottage, chewing slowly, letting the warmth spread through his chest. The meal wasn't fancy, not like the big dinners you see in movies about kings, but it was good. It filled his tummy, made him feel cozy, and helped his eyelids get heavy, ready for sleep. Later, when he slipped his special coin under his pillow, it felt like part of the meal, a little promise that there'd be more food, more days, more warmth to come. Let's picture Aldrich's house at dinner time. It's a small house with wooden walls and a straw roof that keeps out the rain. The fire in the corner is burning, crackling softly, sending a warm glow across the room. The air smells like wood smoke in the pottage, with its barley and onions and maybe a bit of cabbage. The pottage is thick, like a soup that's been cooking all day, and it's steaming in the pot, making the room feel cozy. Aldrich's bed is in one corner, a wooden frame with a straw mattress and a wool blanket that smells like sheep. His family is there, Edda, stirring the pot, Wulfric and Agnes, his kids, sitting at the table, and Bruna, the old dog, lying by the fire, her shaggy fur warm and soft. Edda is kind, with a smile that makes everyone feel happy. She's standing by the fire, using a long wooden spoon to stir the pottage. The pottage is simple, made from things they grow or trade for. Barley is the main part, little grains that get soft and chewy when they cook. Onions add a sweet, warm taste, and cabbage, if they have it, makes the pottage a little crunchy. Sometimes, if they're lucky, there's a bit of carrot or a pinch of herbs, like thyme, to make it taste even better. Edda stirs the pot and the pottage bubbles, sending up little puffs of steam that smell so good, Aldrich's tummy rumbles just thinking about it. Aldrich sits at the table, his hands rough from a day of lifting sacks and tying ropes. He's tired, his legs heavy, his shoulders achy, but the smell of the pottage makes him smile. Edda ladles the pottage into his bowl, a wooden bowl that's old and a little worn but still good. The pottage is hot, steaming, and it looks thick and hearty like a hug in a bowl. Aldrich takes a piece of bread from a basket on the table. The bread is coarse, not soft like the bread we buy today. It's dark, made from rye or barley flour, and it's chewy, with a crust that's hard but good. He tears off a piece and dips it into the pottage, letting it soak up the warm, thick soup. Then he takes a bite, chewing slowly, letting the flavors fill his mouth. The pottage is warm, spreading through his chest like a cozy fire. The barley is soft, the onions are sweet, and the cabbage is a little crunchy, just right. The bread is chewy, soaking up the pottage, making every bite feel like a treat. Aldrich chews slowly, not in a hurry, savoring each mouthful. The warmth of the food makes him feel full, not just in his tummy but in his heart. It's like the pottage is saying, "You worked hard today, Aldrich, now you're home and everything's okay." He takes another bite, dipping the bread again, and feels his eyelids get a little heavier, like the food is helping him get ready for sleep. Sometimes there's ale to drink, a bitter, yeasty drink that Aldrich sips from a wooden cup. The ale isn't sweet like juice or soda, it's strong with a taste that's a little sharp, like bread that's gone a bit tangy. It's made from barley, just like the pottage, and it's something adults drink in the village. Aldrich doesn't have ale every night, but when he does, he sips it slowly, letting the bitter taste mix with the warm pottage. The ale makes him feel even cozier, like a warm blanket wrapping around his insides. It's not a lot, just a small cup, but it's enough to make him yawn, his eyes drooping as he sits at the table. Let's imagine you're at the table with Aldrich, sitting on a little stool. The fire is glowing, making the room warm and cozy. You have a wooden bowl in front of you filled with steaming pottage and a piece of coarse bread in your hand. The pottage smells so good, like barley and onions, and it's hot, warming your fingers through the bowl. You dip the bread into the pottage, just like Aldrich, and take a bite. It's warm and thick, filling your mouth with soft barley and sweet onions. The bread is chewy, soaking up the soup, and it feels good to eat something so hearty. You look at Aldrich, and he's smiling, his crinkly eyes twinkling in the firelight. He sips his ale, and you can tell he's tired but happy, ready to rest. The meal isn't fancy, not like a big feast with lots of different foods. It's just pottage and bread and maybe some ale, but it's enough. It fills Aldrich's tummy, makes him feel warm and cozy, like he's ready to curl up in his bed. The pottage is simple, but it's made with love by Edda's careful hands, and that makes it special. The bread is hard to chew sometimes, but it's good, especially when it's soaked in the pottage's warmth. The ale is bitter, but it's part of the meal, part of the night, part of the way Aldrich ends his day. Wulfric and Agnes are at the table too, eating their own bowls of pottage. Wulfric is a little boy, always full of energy, but now he's quiet, chewing his bread, his eyes droopy. Agnes is younger, holding her wooden spoon like it's a toy, taking small bites of pottage. They don't have ale, they drink water from a clay jug, cool and fresh from the well. Edda sits with them, eating her own bowl, smiling at her family. The table is small, and everyone's close, their elbows almost touching. It's a cozy feeling, like the whole family is wrapped in the warmth of the meal, the fire, the house. Bruna, the old dog, is lying by the fire, her shaggy fur glowing in the light. She's not eating pottage, but sometimes Aldrich tosses her a bit of bread and she catches it with a happy wag of her tail. Her snores mix with the crackle of the fire, making the room feel even cozier. The pottage, the bread, the ale, the family, the fire. It's all part of the night, part of the way Aldrich gets ready for sleep. He eats slowly, letting each bite fill him, letting the warmth spread through his body, making him feel heavy and calm. The coin under Aldrich's pillow feels like part of the meal, too. It's not food, of course, but it's a promise, like the pottage is a promise of warmth and fullness. The coin is a little piece of the day, a shiny bit of silver he earned at the market. When he finishes his meal and shuffles to his bed, he'll take the coin from his pocket and slip it under his pillow. It's cool and smooth, like a secret he's keeping close. The pottage fills his tummy, the ale makes him sleepy, and the coin makes him feel safe, like tomorrow will bring more food, more warmth, more days like this. Let's picture Aldrich finishing his meal. He takes his last bite of pottage, the bread now just crumbs in his bowl. He sips the last of his ale, the bitter taste lingering in his mouth. He leans back, his hands resting on his knees, and lets out a long, slow sigh. The warmth of the meal is in his chest, spreading through his whole body, making him feel cozy and heavy. His eyelids are droopy, and he yawns, a big, slow yawn that makes his shoulders relax. Edda is cleaning up, stacking the wooden bowls, humming a soft tune. Wulfric and Agnes are almost asleep at the table, their heads nodding. Bruna is snoring by the fire, her tail twitching like she's dreaming. Aldrich stands up, his boots scuffing the dirt floor. He's tired, but it's a good tired, the kind that comes from a day of hard work and a warm meal. He walks to his bed, the straw mattress waiting for him, the wool blanket ready to wrap him up. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out his coin, the special one he picked that morning. It's small with a picture on it, maybe a king's face or a cross. He holds it in his hand, feeling its smooth edges, and smiles. Then he slips it under his pillow where it sits, cool and quiet, like a little piece of the meal. a promise of more to come. The meal and the coin are connected, like two parts of the same story. The pottage and bread fill Aldrich's tummy, giving him the strength to sleep and wake up for another day. The coin is a piece of that day, a shiny bit of silver that says, "You worked hard and tomorrow you'll work again." Together they make Aldrich feel ready for sleep, ready to rest, ready to let the night take over. The pottage is warm, the coin is cool, and both are part of his night, part of his home, part of his life. Let's imagine you're eating with Aldrich, feeling the warmth of the pottage in your tummy. The bread is chewy, the pottage is thick, and the fire is glowing, making the room cozy. You see Aldrich yawn, his eyes droopy, his smile soft. You hear Edda's humming, the kids' sleepy breaths, Bruna's snores. You know that soon Aldrich will go to his bed, slip his coin under his pillow, and let the night wrap him up. The meal is simple, but it's good, and it makes you feel sleepy, too, like the pottage and bread are a lullaby for your tummy. Aldrich's dinner is part of his night, part of the way he gets ready for sleep. It's not a big meal, not a feast with lots of fancy foods, but it's enough. The pottage is warm, the bread is chewy, the ale is bitter, and together they make him feel full and cozy. The coin under his pillow is like the last bite of the meal, a little piece of the day that stays with him. It's a promise that tomorrow will bring more pottage, more bread, more warmth. Aldrich lies in his bed, the straw crunching, the blanket heavy, the coin cool, and feels the night settle over him, ready for sleep. Before bed, Aldrich would bank the fire in his little house. It was a simple task, something he did every night, like a quiet good night to the day. He'd crouch by the hearth, his knees creaking a little, and use a stick to push the glowing embers into a small pile. Then he'd scoop ash from the edge of the hearth and sprinkle it over the embers, covering them like a blanket. This kept the fire smoldering, warm and alive, but low and safe, ready to glow again in the morning. As he worked, the fire's glow dimmed, sending soft shadows dancing on the wooden walls. It was like a signal, a gentle whisper that said, "The day is done, Aldrich, it's time to rest." He touched the coin in his pocket, feeling its cool, smooth surface, and then slip it under his pillow as he climbed into bed. The fire's last flicker was like a nod from a friend, telling him it was okay to close his eyes and sleep. Let's picture Aldrich's house at this quiet time of night. It's a small house with walls made of wood and a roof of straw that keeps out the rain. The floor is packed dirt, cool under Aldrich's bare feet. The fire is in a stone hearth in the corner, the heart of the house, where Edda cooked pottage and where the family gathers for warmth. The air smells like wood smoke, mixed with the sheepy smell of the wool blanket on Aldrich's bed. His bed is simple, just a wooden frame with a straw mattress that crunches when he moves. The blanket is heavy, a bit scratchy but warm, perfect for a chilly night. His family is there, Edda, his wife, already in bed, her breathing soft, Wulfric and Agnes, their kids, curled up on a smaller straw pallet, and Bruna, the old dog, snoring by the fire, her shaggy fur glowing in the dim light. Aldrich is tired, his body heavy from a long day at the market. His legs ache from walking, his hands are rough from lifting sacks of wool, and his shoulders feel stiff. But he doesn't go straight to bed. First he banks the fire, a job that's as much a part of his night as eating pottage or patting his coin. He kneels by the hearth, the stone cool against his knees. The fire is low now, not the big, crackling blaze it was when Edda cooked dinner.